Kemba Walker, step back, Walker, cardiac Kemba, does it again!
Ubilis, 7 seconds to go. Three-pointer.
Oh! Hutchins! Double order!
Again, comes down to fundamentals.
Oh! My goodness! Sorrentine hit that one from the parking lot.
Watford for the win.
Yes! Yes!
To the Sweet 16. Caney's got it. Rises up. The shot. And it's good! It's good!
From the corner! And it's over! Gonzaga! The slipper still fits! Ha ha! College basketball!
What's going on, dude? Just we were just talking about DePaul. You know, you did. I should have sprinkled the money line a little bit, complaining about Dixon going 2 for 7 from the fucking 3-point line. Other than that, it's not been a bad night. Shout out Bob Morris, and shout out to Gottlieb for being a fucking joke. The ATM strikes again.
Dude, up 20 to down 20 within like 20 minutes of game time.
They blew they had a 16 or 17 point lead in the first half, and by half it was a 3-point game, but refs gave them a bogus foul. So they shot 3 free throws, made 2, and then pissed them off. Like I tweeted, I was like, they're pissed off. Here they come. And wouldn't you know, at a 28-0 fucking run to open up the fucking half.
That was hilarious. I see Danny Dumpshit earlier commented he's already cashing. He's already locking in DePaul plus 9.5 and money line at halftime. That's how confident he is.
I hope you're right. I hope they don't blow
I hope that's not a jinx.
I'm just pulling up the game right now. I had the St. Joe's, Bob Morris, and then what was the other one? The Providence game going. So I didn't really have too many eyes on it, but
Hey, and freaking
firing it up right now.
Huff's Hoosiers only down 1.
Hey,
I stayed away from that game. I completely.
dude, I'm telling you, they're an ATM to fade. I mean, I was big fan last year. Sundance Wicks, Noah Reynolds, everybody. They were great. Went to games, supported them. They will not be getting any of my money for $10 tickets or $3 beers as long as Gottlieb is there. He's an absolute joke. Absolutely despise that guy. Ruined everything we had going. And I don't even think we can afford to just fire him and pay out his contract. I think we're stuck with him for another year or two. So, guys, we may be looking good for an ATM for a couple of years here. So
I will take it. Free money.
yes, sir. Yeah, they're up 14. You know, we got a 23-point cushion here. I got 9. I got a 22-point cushion.
I only got 16. I need them to win.
Yeah, you should be good there. You should be good. Hopefully, I mean, if they keep.
Man, I was trying to freaking. I should have just cashed out and took like 20% loss on that Georgetown team total over 75. I should have done it, but then I was just gonna try. I got too cute. Tried to take it at the. I tried to see if they'd hit a couple threes at the beginning and take it and just hit the under like you were gonna do with Sorber's rebounds and just eat the juice and freaking. They scored 6 points in fucking 6 minutes, so that was a negative for trying to get the juice. So I'm gonna lose that one, but the pull with the spread money line should help me out there.
Yeah, let's. They're up 17, so I think we're good. What was my other one tonight? I feel like
I know.
I mean, I'll be sitting 2 and 4, but 3 of those losses are the 3-point ladder from Dixon. So I mean,
yep, one away from the main one away from getting being in the green at least.
Yeah, I know that sucked.
And then St. Joe's, piss poor.
Yeah,
it was awesome. I mean, I thought they were good. They were getting it down to like cutting it to 4-3. Then the next thing I knew was like 9-10, then 4-3, back to 9-10. It was just stuck in that constant like run 6-0, 7-0 runs by each team back and forth.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's looking good for me. Tragic Magic spot. We like that.
Yes, sir.
think
all right.
What are you sweating out tonight?
I'll just have DePaul +9 and then New Mexico. I should have put more on DePaul, given the
Circumstance.
news I had heard. I should have put more on there. That's regret for me, but we live and learn.
Yep. Yeah, I'm on. I know I liked UCLA, but I didn't like the points last night. So I know I sent you guys the card, but sweating out UCLA money line with New Mexico money line, just a little too short favorite money line parlay for plus 116, and then I did go in on Fresno State -4. So that's the last ones I got, just to have something, just to have some action. So
yeah, I might put a little bit more on New Mexico just to feel something.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I was nervous about that 3.5 because I just feel like that's going to be a close game. So I was like, you know what? I liked UCLA. I didn't really like the 6.5, which they're up 29-9 right now. So the 6.5 is looking good so far. Keyword. But so that's why I just went with 2 money lines and parlayed them just to get plus money a little bit. So hopefully.
All right. I am paying attention, but I was slacking and watching games and eating dinner. I didn't get all of these tickers in, but we can start. I guess we'll just hop right into it. I mean, we got a shit ton tomorrow. Yeah, you'll have to pay attention to the chat a little bit if there's anything, because I'm going to be typing these in. But
no, I'll shut up the chat. You just type those in.
Yes, sir. All right, kick us off.
Alabama, Kentucky. This is a good one. You talked about this on the pregame show. I think. Let me look and see. Is it still 2.5? I would assume it's still 2.5. It's down to 2 actually. So it was open at 1.5, went up to 2.5, now to 2. Like you would put it right in there. That total was freaking hilarious. By the way, almost 180.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I had to double check. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
I must type this in. No. It's legitimately 180.
I don't know. I'm probably not going to bet this game. I think this is just a very high variance game where whoever's going to shoot the best is probably going to win. But if I was going to bet this, I'd take Kentucky -2. They're at home. Mark Pope at home has been pretty good. I know Alabama's off that Ole Miss loss, but Kentucky at Rupp, I think the place will get up. You saw what it was even at 10 a.m. that one Florida game. At 10 a.m. it was lit. It's going to be lit in there again.
Yeah.
So give me Rupp. Give me I'd lay the 2, but I'm probably not betting it. I got my eyes on a couple other games at 11 that I'm going to be betting. But Kentucky -2 would be my pick. What about you?
Yeah. I talked about it on there. I kind of like Alabama just because I feel like people are seeing a short spread with Kentucky at home. Alabama just played arguably their worst game of the year, I'd say. I mean, they had 7 guys with 2+ turnovers. They looked terrible at home. They couldn't hit anything, but lucky for them, we know Kentucky's not their strong suit is not their defense. It's their offense. With that being said, I kind of like Alabama with the points. So I may just wait and see where this number goes. If it sits at 2.5, I'm firing on Alabama tomorrow. For sure, because I think this game's gonna be tight. Need strong defense isn't either of these guys' strong suits. Offense, they can both just rattle off runs. And also, like, side note, like the total was over 170 yesterday or the day before. It went over. It was like 103.79 or something. So it went over fairly well. So maybe this is a tide to turn, the turn tide or turning of the, you get what I'm saying, where we might get points here
with the overs.
Yeah, I mean, would you be shocked if this is like an 87-91 type of game?
No, I wouldn't be shocked if this is another, high 90s Florida Kentucky game.
Yeah.
I would probably say if I was going to bet this, my most confident bet would be the over 179.5. As funny as that may seem, that would be if I was going to if you made me bet this game, I would feel most confident about the 179.5.
Yeah, I'm with you. I hate totals, but
I'm not. I
feel like they're putting it up that high to just entice you to be like, hey, you're not going to bet this over. Like, I mean, and again, like if they both score 85, which is very doable, this is
Oh, for sure.
we're sitting at what 170 there. I
Yeah.
guess. Oh, my math isn't even off. Yeah, it's 170. This would have to be 90 on 90 apiece. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but both these teams can do it. Neither defense is not their strong suit. They both want to go up and down. So I would lean over, but if I had to pick a side, I'm taking Bama. So if this sits 2.5, I'll be taking Bama. All right, Clemson at Pittsburgh tomorrow. Pittsburgh's only 2.5.
Pittsburgh off the Florida State loss. They've actually lost 3 straight. Lost away to Duke, then at home against Louisville, and then at Florida State. Clemson seemed like they were decently healthy. They had some concerns possibly going into Georgia Tech, but it pretty much seemed like, everybody played. Shefflin actually had a really good game. So I'm not seeing much of anything on the injury front, unless you've seen anything.
I did not see any news today. No, I didn't look, but I also generally, if there's an injury concern, I do see something about it.
Man, I would say, this is another game I'm not gonna bet. Feels like a Pittsburgh spot. Clemson's kind of struggled on the road, as we've seen. Obviously, they got the win against Georgia Tech on the road. But besides that, they're like Georgia Tech and Miami are the only 2 away road wins. I just think, Clemson 6-1 in conference. Pitt sitting at I think they're 3-3 now, and they're laying 2.5. I think it's pretty telling. 6-1 versus 3-3. Clemson struggled on the road, so I'll go with Pitt minus 2.5. But again, probably not going to be a bet for me. As the mega slates, I try to get a little bit more selective.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But Pitt off the loss at home.
Now 3 losses.
Oh well, yeah. I was thinking the Florida State game. I think the ending of that Florida State game where they got, they were about to like throw down with who do you call it? Throw down with the other team and like.
Oh yeah.
I think they come out a little fired up and pissed off about that whole thing and want to put on a show. Clemson on the road hasn't looked phenomenal either yet this year, for the most part. So I'd be tempted to play Pittsburgh here. It's sitting anywhere from 2.5 to 3. So just a heads up on that. But
yeah, I just have a tough time backing Pittsburgh. I backed them against Louisville. They let me down. I probably won't go back to the well on this. Last Saturday, they lost to Louisville by 4. Thought that was a spot for them coming off that Duke loss. So it's probably a stay away for me, but I would pick Pitt minus 2.5.
Yeah, I'm with you. I kind of lean that way too. Not gonna fire on this one. There's some other good spots that I kind of like this year or tomorrow. So that's where I will sit on that. If I had to make a pick, it would be Pittsburgh though. Creighton heads to UConn.
This should be a pretty good game. I saw Liam McNeely. He's out of the boot. Game time decision for tomorrow.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, not sure if he'll play, but he's out of the boot. Been doing some stuff on the court, so it'll depend. Let me check and see if there's any update to that. No, I don't have any update, so no real timeline. I'd be surprised if he played though. I kind of like in this spot. I really kind of look at that over 147.5. I don't really like to play a lot of totals, but when I was first kind of just looking through, that kind of stood out to me as a little bit low. I feel like UConn will be able to score the ball at home. Obviously, Creighton's not going to be able to really defend well. I know that UConn's missing McNeely, but I think if Creighton's got to have a chance to stay in this game, they got to score. They're not going to be able to win a defensive battle. So I could see this game in the high 70s. I mean, both if it's like a 75-73, that cashes. And and also the Creighton plus 7.5. But I'm nervous. Just it being in stores. Sometimes Creighton can just let let the game get away from them, especially on the road. Especially late, a couple of 3, 4, 5 threes don't fall. All of a sudden, UConn makes 2, 3 big buckets, and it's a 10-point game when it was a 4-point game. So I kind of like that over. That's something that I've circled. Haven't bet it yet. But if I'm going to bet that game, that's where I'm headed. And it looks like Denny Dumpshit, he was leaning, swaying Creighton plus the points. Which if I was picking a side, that would definitely go Creighton plus 7.5. UConn's been kind of playing with their food and struggling with these teams since McNeely's been out.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like Creighton, but that McNeely news kind of changes it. So I guess I would wait and see if he's going to play. I think even if he does play, I mean, he's been out for so long. He's got some rust.
It wouldn't be. I haven't really seen anything about like practice-wise and stuff. He wouldn't be playing like his minutes that he was playing. So it's not like he'd be, full go 30 plus minutes.
Yeah. I think I would take Creighton though. We've seen what they've done without McNeely. UConn 8-point win against Georgetown. Nova loss. Here comes Georgetown. Providence 3-point win, 13 points against DePaul, but Butler 4 points, Xavier 5 points. Baylor 4 points. I mean, they've really just played tight games. So I would take the points. I think with Creighton, they need a game bad. They need to win over a big dog. Kind of help their non-con out after they really shit the bed. So I will. I got this written down. I kind of like Creighton here. In this spot here, especially if McNeely plays. I think people are going to buy too much into that injury news.
Yeah. If he does end up playing, you could even possibly see this go up a little bit too.
Oh yeah. That's why I'm waiting.
So
the second you see any news, if you like Creighton, if McNeely's not playing, hop in because people are going to start betting Creighton then.
Yeah. And UConn's a public team. UConn, Duke, Kansas, North Carolina, the public loves betting on those blue bloods. So,
yeah.
UConn, usually I typically, if I like UConn, if I like any of those blue bloods, I really bet them the night before. And if I like the other side, I just wait until right before tip. And generally that's when I can get the best number.
Absolutely. Here we go. I talked about this one, but what do you got for Houston here?
Yeah, this will be my first. This is going to be my first bet for sure of the day. I'm laying it with Houston minus 13.5. I watched a lot of that Kansas UCF game, and UCF at one point UCF was losing the points in the paint 54-2 to Kansas. That's not a very good recipe when you're facing a Houston team who not only can beat you on the outside, but can also beat you on the inside as well. You could look at Juwan Roberts props as well. I wouldn't mind looking at his points. You could possibly look at his rebounds. UCF's one of the worst in the Big 12 of offensive rebounding teams. I think maybe K-State is the worst team in the Big 12, and I think if I remember correctly, I was at that Houston game. We gave up 19 offensive rebounds. So just creating extra possessions. UCF probably going to do similar to that. So I looked for that game to probably be around a 20-point win for Houston. So that'll be my first bet.
Yep, I'm with you. Give me Houston here. I know it seems a little short, but it's still 13 on the road. Like you said, they've gotten demolished in the paint big time. Juwan Roberts should be able to feast, and then Emmanuel Sharp can really lock down those guards they got. And Keyshawn Hall just had like 40 points, so I'd like to see him back that up again. But this feels like a game maybe UCF keeps it a little tight first half, but second half, once those adjustments are made and whatnot, I know it's the bounce house; it can be tough to play in, but Houston's a whole different animal
for sure.
But they are on the road, so that's a little concerning potentially, but. Just based off of that Kansas game, like they should be able to do whatever they want inside and own the glass. So, I think this is probably like a 20-point Houston win.
Yep.
17-18, something like that.
Yeah. I would It would be. It's one of those things where he, getting that live angle, first half angle, waiting a little bit, maybe getting a better number on Houston isn't bad. But I'd feel more comfortable laying it right now, just because I could see just as likely Houston go up 10-0, 15-0, 15-5, something like that, and then just kind of hold it at 10 and then push it out in the second half. So that's why I like just laying the full game.
Yep, I'm with you. It would be full game. I don't want to get cute and play a half here, like a first half play when they're on the road, because we know they usually do that at home. But yeah, I don't want any part of UCF in this one. If I get burnt, so be it. But Houston will be a play of mine tomorrow. All right. Next, we got Georgia Tech at Florida State. Florida State's laying 9 big ones. 9. I will say, since the NIL, those kids are suing
They play better.
Leonard. They've been playing so much better.
Yeah. Really good defense, too. Nothing. I won't talk about this game too much. Doesn't really entice me. I'm not going to watch it. I'll take Florida State -9. I think their defense can prevail against the not a great Georgia Tech offense, and Stoudemire on the road is not very great. Sometimes I backed him at home against Clemson. I like backing Georgia Tech at home, but yeah, give me the 9, Florida State. No bet though for me.
Yeah, it would be the Florida State side for me. Who did Georgia Tech actually just play? They just played, Clemson at home, lost by 11. They went to SMU, lost by 22. Syracuse beat them by 7 on the road.
Yeah.
Their wins are all coming at home. I mean, Duke smashed them at home. North Carolina was only a 3-point loss, so I'll give them that. But Oklahoma beat them by 15. Whenever they've stepped up against competition, I mean, Georgia beat them by 8. Cincinnati beat them by 23 at home. So, I mean, they just fail when they step up against competition. They did beat Notre Dame, but, whatever about that. That's the best win of the year is Notre Dame.
Yep.
And they're, bubble team at best. So I think Florida State playing a lot better, coming off that big Pittsburgh win, staying home. If they were hitting the road, I probably wouldn't want any part of this. But, I think they probably get this done by 10 or 11 at least. Virginia heads to Louisville's laying 14 and a half. 14 and a half. They did play earlier this year. Louisville won at Virginia by 20.
That's a big number for me.
It is.
Louisville 6-1 in conference on a freaking 7-game win streak right now. Virginia on a 4-game losing streak, just dropped the 1 to SMU at home. I mean, give me Virginia and the points. I don't feel real great about it, but that just seems like way too many points against a Virginia squad that really slows the tempo down. So if I'm getting 14.5, I know Louisville beat them by 20. They're at home. I think that it'll be a lot closer this time around. Give me Virginia plus 15 or plus 14.5, but I'm not betting this either.
I mean, to your point, they do that, but at home they're playing tougher. They hit the road. Stanford and Cal were 13 and 14-point losses. SMU 12 points. Florida was a 18. St. John's and Tennessee were neutrals. Those were 22 and 25-point losses. They did beat Villanova, but that was their game of the year. Villanova was absolutely just shit to start the year. So
maybe I should.
I'd actually have no problem laying the 14.5 with Louisville. I know the defense can slow it down and they can make it nasty, but Louisville's just hit another gear. Home Saturday game against an ACC opponent. I think they just fuck them up. I think they probably win by like another 20 plus here again. Yeah,
no, I could see it. That's why I'm not betting it. But that's just, if anything, I would take that, take the point just because of the defense. But maybe I'm getting fooled by the name brand. It's new coach. Obviously, hasn't been very good this whole year.
Yeah.
So, maybe I'm getting fooled by just the name brand. And I think a lot of people may get fooled with that and maybe take the Virginia plus 14.5 and Louisville ends up winning by 20, like you said. So that's why I'm really off of it. I don't really trust Virginia at all to get a cover, but that would be where I would pick it.
Yep, same here. I'm gonna write it down, but George Washington plays George Mason. George Mason's lane 8. The last couple of years, these have both just been home and home trade spots. I believe they do play tight though. I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure they generally play tight games.
Tiny Dick said FranCon's at level 9 right now.
Oh, probably. I saw that they're down like 21. I was like, oof.
He's probably getting booted.
Probably. Look at these previous scores here.
The only thing that scares me about that line is George Mason's off that huge win at Dayton. And George Washington just dropped that home game to Duquesne. So I kind of like the points with George Washington. But it scares me because I could just see George Mason just rolling. But
yeah. I mean, George Mason previously, their home games against them, 90-67. They lost 75-78 2 years ago. Home, they won 69-62. Home, 63-58. 67-73 loss. 62-55. I mean, they play tight. Washington at home does generally sometimes fuck them up. I mean, 13-point loss for Mason there. They did beat them once by 7, lost by 1 on the road, lost by 7 again. So I guess these are tighter. They're generally pretty tight games. And with Mason coming off of that big win at Dayton, now you're hitting home. Washington's off of the loss at home. Now you're going to hit the road. I think they were kind of looking ahead to this game.
Rivalry game. Give me the 8 points.
Yeah.
I'm going to start it. I'm not going to bet it just yet, but yeah, that'll probably be most likely will be a bet for me.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree, Danny. I've been watching it too. DePaul's definitely the more motivated team to end this losing streak.
Yeah.
Right now.
I told you Fridays and Sundays weird shit happens.
Yep.
Weird shit happens. Yep, man, I told you. I fucking called that. I don't remember exactly my predicted margin was, but I think it said like 10 or 15 plus. 22 works for me too. Here we go. Auburn's heading to Georgia, and this number's come down, but they did open the same exact number that Auburn opened up at home against Mississippi State.
Yep.
Where they blew them out, and now they're going to lay the exact same number again.
This is my second bet. I had already this would have been my first bet. I texted you guys earlier when I saw that line at 7.5. I just think it's too many points for a really physical Georgia team. Auburn, one game bump with Janai Broome out, took care of business against like you said, similar line lane 7.5 against Mississippi State. Now you're going on the road. You saw what happened on the road at South Carolina. They struggled. They got the win. Credit to them. But once he left, it was a struggle. It was a dogfight. So, I think Georgia's going to be able to get in a dogfight. They're going to be able to out physical them, especially without Janai Broome. Georgia's one of the most physical teams that I have seen in the SEC conference with the games I've watched. So I like Georgia to keep it within. I got this at 7. I'd still take it at plus 6.5 for the show. But
yeah, I definitely think it's going to keep going down. So I have the exact same angle, and you already heard mine with the line being posted where it was. So I'm actually going to go bet this right now. Also, I tried Indiana. Indiana fucking called it ultimate buy low spot. Ultimate buy low. The fact that I was having a hard time pulling the trigger should have told me that it was the right play. No, the fact that I couldn't pull the trigger is telling me I should have played it because it was so gross.
Yeah, I couldn't pull the trigger on it. That was one of the ones I stayed away from. I just don't trust either of those teams. Didn't know what to expect, so I was like, you know what? I'm not forcing to play. I'm just gonna lay off.
Here, you can kick us off. You already.
Oh, yeah. Is it 16? I haven't even seen the line. Yeah, man. No KJ Adams for KU, I believe. Yes, he's out. Separated his shoulder in that Iowa State game. I think this is a big game probably for Hunter Dickinson. We don't really have the size to compete with him down low. So if you wanted to look at some props, maybe Hunter Dickinson props. But you know what? I think it's too many points. I know Kansas is off the loss, but laying 16, Kansas's offense hasn't been that great here as of recently. They're still trying to figure some things out. I know from a couple people I've talked with, K-State has had two of their best practices of the season that Tang has said after the last game against Texas Tech. So that was kind of a very positive message, I thought, after not scoring with, let's see, what was that? Yeah, not scoring a single point in the last 6 minutes of the game against Texas Tech and losing by 4 would kind of maybe have everything come unraveled. But I think, I'll take K-State plus 16. I'm obviously not betting this. I don't really bet this. Troy is not getting out his jar of Tang. So
what's going on, Troy?
That was his cap last year. If I remember correctly, it was K-State, Oklahoma State, and he got out his Tang, and his whole cap was, since Tang is orange, that means that Oklahoma State is going to cover against K-State, and they did. So it was a pretty solid cap. But yeah, give me the points. But if you want to bet this, you probably should bet KU. They tend to fuck us up in Allen Fieldhouse. What's the over under? You could lean towards the under too. We've kind of been an under machine these last 2-3 games in the Big 12. Obviously, Kansas is going to struggle offensively. I think we struggle offensively too. So that could be a look too. But yeah, just plus K-State plus 16. I'll go with my boys. I'll ride with them. I got to on the rivalry game. I can't. You won't see me laying KU against K-State. Hell no.
Yeah, no. I don't like Kansas State's chances here. I'm going to lay it with Kansas. I'm going to bet it now because this is going to close like 18.
Oh yeah, for sure. I see your angle and respect it. Like I said, we typically get fucked up in Allen Fieldhouse.
Yeah. Nothing. It's just tough that you're playing them off the
Iowa State loss. I know.
Yeah.
And we played, and the other thing that sucks too is we've played 2 physical teams back to back in Houston and Texas Tech, which sucks. I know at home, but still.
Yep. So best of luck tomorrow. Somewhat, not really, but
let's ride K-State, baby. I hope this is the one and only loss.
Praying for you somehow. Maine's heading to UMBC, laying 1.5. Over unders 151.5 here.
Maine's lane 1.5.
Yeah, UMBC off the loss. Maine got lucky that NGIT just didn't even bother showing up in the second half here, but Maine does have UMass Lowell on deck. And this will be their back-to-back road game.
I want to go back to the well with UMBC, but man, I bet them 14.5 against freaking New Hampshire. New Hampshire won outright.
Yeah.
I think it's a UMBC spot for sure. Usually they're really good at home. Usually they fuck these teams up at home. But what is this? I mean, Maine lane 1.5. I mean, is it solely because New Hampshire just beat UMBC at home?
I think it's a nice bounce back for what's your nuts UMBC.
I agree. I'm gonna bet it. I'm going back to the well. I'm gonna bet it. I think UMBC's offense. You saw what Maine's offense did against NJIT, who's arguably one of the worst teams in the country.
Yeah.
I think UMBC can just run them out of the gym here. So I'll take. I don't even need the point. Just give me the money line.
Yeah, I'm with you.
We'll ride it.
I'm gonna write it down. We'll see if I'm gonna bet this, but figured you might have something on it since you were on UMBC the other day.
The biggest thing I had on it the reason I had it on the other day was because it was like their first home game in like over a month. So I thought it was a good get up spot for them. And they're always been a pretty good home team and tend to blow teams out by 15, 20 at home. But obviously that was not the right angle that game. But yeah, I'll go back to the well. I'll probably end up at UMBC. Sammy Stew's with me. Let's go, Sammy.
Sammy. All right, so let me close this. All right, next. Here we go. I saw someone talking about this one earlier.
Yep,
Buffalo. Yeah, Buffalo, Western Michigan. This is yet another ATM team of mine, Buffalo. Western Michigan gets a chance to just absolutely demolish somebody. Where did this game go? Down here. They're off the Kent State win. They're looking pretty good. They're feeling it. Buffalo has lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight. 18-point loss, 19-point loss, 9-point loss at home, but on the road, 14 at Miami, Ohio. Temple beat them by 20. I don't even bother with Georgia or St. Bonaventure because that's expected. But Vermont, at the beginning of the year when they were absolutely terrible, beat them by 11. Congrats on beating Morgan State and ODU. But I think Western Michigan gets a chance to fuck them up here at home. It's a big number. Who wants to lay 8.5 with Western Michigan? But they'll be able to rebound. That's kind of like the only angle I have here is control the glass, just take the points away and get second chance opportunities. But Buffalo's bad, man. Buffalo's bad. They've been a fucking ATM. Just fading them, just blind fading them.
I agree. I'm not really going to talk much on this, except that I'm just going to say Western Michigan minus 8.5. Bet.
Yep. Next, Arizona State's heading to Cincy over under 134, and Cincy is laying 10 fucking points. 10.
Whew. Is there any injury news or something I'm missing? What kind
Can't tell. KenPom has this, I think, 7.
Yeah. What kind of offense?
It's got it 7.
What kind of offense did Cincinnati just magically appear with overnight to be laying 10?
No. Since he gets shots blocked, Arizona State can block shots. Yes, Arizona's got good Cincinnati's got good defense, but man, they are fucking awful. Like offensively, like I just don't like this number whatsoever. I want to bet Arizona State at that number, but man, is it fucking big, and for what reason?
Yeah, is it telling you that Cincinnati's just going to fuck them up?
Kind of feels like it.
That's what
But at the same time, some of these lines have just not been that great. Yeah, just looking at these splits, it opened 10, 62% of bets, 76% of money is on Arizona State right now.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame
64% of the money is on Arizona State plus 350. God, Cincinnati's going to fucking demolish them. I just can't get to an angle of how or why.
Sammy Stews on the under.
It's not a bad look.
That could definitely be a possibility. I mean, shit, you saw what happened last time, 54-40 against Kansas. And I think the total was similar. I think it was like 135, 136, something like that. Might have been closer to 140. But yeah, I mean, I can see how Cincinnati would just be able to just completely shut down Arizona State. But then, Cincinnati, what are they good for? Scoring 65, maybe?
Yeah.
That might be the angle. I kind of want to take, it's gross, but I kind of want to take Cincinnati minus 10. I think the line's kind of telling that they're just going to fuck them up. The only thing that's kind of holding me off from maybe betting it is just the fact that Arizona State's lost 3 in a row. Cincy just got their first win. They were at Colorado. So now they're returning home. So that kind of is a scary thing to return home,
Mhm.
After that first Big 12 win. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I like the under 134.
I know. I don't want to know if I want to get in bed with a fucking under again, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, but
But I could not bet the over here. I mean,
no. There's no way I'm betting on the over. It'll either be Cincinnati plus or Cincinnati minus 10 or the under 134.5 for me. I'll put a little question mark because I'll come back to it. Not gonna bet it right away, but it might be something that I end up betting.
yeah, I'm gonna write it down, but
Because as Sammy Stu said, even like 67-60, that covers you.
Yeah.
67-63 covers you. Shit,
Yeah.
if Cincinnati gets a wild hair up their ass and scores 70, a 70-64 game covers you.
yeah, it's really tempting.
Yeah. I just,
Really,
man,
really tempting.
Cincinnati's offense, I mean, what have they shown you in Big 12 play to be laying 10?
The only way Cincinnati covers is if their defense locks down and this game goes under.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Arizona State's defense isn't, great.
I know, but Cincinnati's offense isn't either. And
Exactly.
ASU at least has an interior defense a little bit with Quaintance down low to kind of bang with them.
Yep, Danny, we're sweating this DePaul out. Jesus. And then Huffer's sweating out the Indiana Ohio State.
I'm score watching that one. I'm pissed
Yeah,
I didn't do the buy low spot. I was fucking right. Spot
It's
on.
gross, Sammy. No matter if you lay the minus 10 or you bet the under, both of those are gross. It doesn't matter which way I take it; they're both gross. And
Yeah.
since he shoots 64% from the free throw line, like, come on.
Yeah. No thanks. Under nothing for me. Wright State heads to Northern Kentucky. Northern Kentucky's laying 1.5.
This is a hell
in
of a
this
good
one.
game. Wright State off
know.
a double overtime loss at home that they should have won in regulation.
Yeah.
Northern Kentucky just dropped.
Cleveland
Dropped three.
State.
They dropped 3 in a row. They just lost to Cleveland State. The game before that, they lost to Oakland at home. 4-4, sitting at 4-4 in conference. Wright State, on the other hand, sitting about 3-5 in conference. I am going to take Northern Kentucky, and I will lay the 1.5, and I will star it. I might bet this. I just think it's a good spot for Northern Kentucky. Bounce back, lost to Cleveland State. You're returning home. Wright State off the double overtime loss that they should have won in overtime. So I like Northern Kentucky here.
Northern Kentucky did end Wright State season in the Horizon League tournament last year.
Ooh, that's good.
I'm gonna go with Wright State.
Ken Palm's got Wright State winning by 1. Just FYI.
I ain't scared.
NKU is shit from the free throw line too. That would be the one thing that scares me.
I just think Wright State after that game, they're like, we just let it slip away. We got to get one back. And Northern Kentucky ended your season last year, so I think they get their lick back tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll probably battle you. Like I said, there's so many games in this 1 o'clock slate that I'm just gonna write down a few. I'm gonna star a bunch that I like, and then I'll probably pick my best, my top, maybe 3, 4, 5 in this window.
There you go. Xavier heads to Marquette. Marquette's laying 10. Over under is 149.5. Xavier kind of getting it rolling a little bit. I knew it was DePaul and Villanova, but Marquette's just so much better. But they've also just kind of been
They've been playing with
keeping
their
games
crews
close.
lately. Yeah, I mean, shit. That DePaul game, DePaul should have damn near. You could have made it think that, could have made a case that the refs kind of gave that game to Marquette.
Yeah.
Laying 10.
Laying 10.
Give me Xavier. Mark, they've already played once. Played at home, lost to Marquette by 2. Give me Xavier plus 10. I'm not gonna bet it because I think this could possibly be a Marquette by 20 type of a game too. They get things figured out, get things rolling after kind of messing around, almost losing to DePaul on the road. Made it really close with Georgetown. Was down at half to Georgetown. So I think they could figure it out here, but 10 seems like a little bit too much for a Xavier team that's kind of playing a lot better than the previous. So give me the 10, but I won't bet this one.
Yeah, I know. I just looked at I didn't even have much time to really look at it on the pregame show. We talked. I did kind of like Marquette a little bit, but Xavier needs these games. Marquette kind of struggled winning by margin as of late too. Wisconsin and one other game they've managed to win by more than 9 since early December. So you get a desperate team here, team that doesn't foul, defends the 3 well, has size inside. With Fremantle a little bit. I know Fremantle's not gigantic, but he can kind of control the paint a little bit. So I think I'm gonna write down Xavier. I don't know if I'll bet this one. Probably not, to be honest.
No, I'm betting.
But
I'm not. Yeah,
the
I'm
10
not.
feels nice. If it got down to 7 or something, if this was 7 or 6, I might lay it. But
yeah, for sure. The 10 just feels like a little bit too much. But like I said, I don't feel comfortable betting it because also Marquette laying double-digit spreads. You've seen that before. Shaka is struggles to cover that. But I just don't want to bet it because at any time Marquette could kind of figure it out and get it clicking. And if they get it clicking, they can beat these middle of the pack Big East teams by 15-20 on a regular basis.
Yeah, I'm with you. UCLA put up 57.5.
I saw that.
What? Wow, I was totally wrong about their offense being that bad that they wouldn't even. No, I said they could score. I said if they score 65-70, I think Iowa can cover. UCLA may have fucking 85-90 by the end of this game. Good God. Next, we're heading to.
Hold on, after this one? Can you do the Queens Florida Gulf Coast one?
Yeah, I'll add that one. Excuse me. What did I just click on? It's SMU Miami. Again, another ATM team. Don't overthink it. Just take SMU. I know SMU just went on the buzzer though. That is kind of shitty. But they went to Virginia, pulled that one out. First time seeing that defense. Now you're going to go see a team that doesn't play defense, has some offense, and I know SMU's defense isn't amazing or anything by any means, but
they're not terrible though.
They're not terrible, but they're not. I guess they are better. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. I'm looking at Miami. Yeah, Miami's just terrible. Miami doesn't force turnovers, and SMU does, and Miami gives it away. Miami doesn't rebound. Miami can't defend the 3. They don't, cover up inside. They have the size disadvantage. I don't care that SMU just won on a buzzer beater. I'm taking them -5.
Yep.
And those probably breaks system.
I agree. I don't think that anything, I don't think that Miami, nobody's going to be there. This team is just not good. Nobody wants to watch them. Even when they're good, that arena doesn't really fill up very well. So, yeah, I agree. I think I should have been on the ATM train with you tonight, fading Green Bay. So I'm not going to miss this opportunity again. I'll go SMU and I'll lay the 5.
Yeah, don't overthink it here.
Ohio State just tied it up. Huffers in shambles.
Oh, fucking IU. They're going to lose this game by 2 points.
Hey, he would have covered.
Yeah. All right, Queens. Total is 151.5, and the spread is it is 5. Queens is catching 5.
Give me Queens +5. This will be a bet. They've been playing a lot better. I know they were just on the road and they absolutely smacked Stetson. Uh, but I like the way that Queens has been playing here as of late. Early on in the season they struggled, but they also were playing some pretty respectable opponents. At Utah, at BYU, at East Tennessee State, played Winthrop. At Ole Miss, they've kind of been other than that, besides that Ole Miss game, they're 8-1 in their last 9, 8-0 if you count out the Ole Miss game. So you're telling me I'm going to get 5 points. They've already beat Florida Gulf Coast by 9 at home. I guess my only concern would be, they're 5-0 in conference. Florida Gulf Coast is 4-1 in conference. Generally, Florida Gulf Coast is a pretty good team at home. So that kind of scares me a little bit. But if I'm getting, I think 5 is a little bit too much. I feel like this is even if they lose, I feel like it's a 2 to 4 point game. I feel like they're going to be right in this down the stretch, and end up losing this by 4 or so. So give me Queens plus the 5. I'll ride the hot team, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I'll battle you. I'm not going to bet this one. Queens' 4th straight road game. They've won the other 3. Florida Gulf Coast home in a revenge spot. And Queens in conference is shooting 75% from the free throw line. Overall this season, 65%. So they got to kind of level out there. I think they'll drop down to earth a little bit here, so they might have some key missed free throws. They do rebound the ball far better. Both teams turn it over. And Queens shooting 39% from 3. And Florida Gulf Coast, 36.5, 37% allowed from 3. They give up the 3rd most 3 points from 3 in conference play too. So, I mean, everything kind of seems like it's pointing towards Queens, and yet they're catching 2-3 possessions. I'm going to write down Florida Gulf Coast. Probably not going to bet this. If I do, I will let you know, and we will publicly battle on this
good.
one.
Yeah,
I won't bet it, so let's go Queens.
Ken Palm's got it at 5. Gulf Coast at 5, which you could very well be on the right side of this, just because they can fuck some teams up at home for sure. But they also could play with their food a lot. They can get up pretty good and then kind of let teams right back into it. So, yeah, we'll battle.
Yep. All right. Next, A10. Bonnies are headed to Duquesne, and they are laying 1.5 on the road here.
Duquesne just off of that road win against George Washington. They also just beat St. Joe's at home before that. 3-1 in conference. They're playing a lot better. Talk about a team that's kind of flipped their season. They're playing a lot better. The Bonnies. Is this kind of like a buy low spot on the Bonnies after they dropped 2 of their last 3, and now they're only laying 1.5? Or is this line short telling you that Duquesne money line play?
I can see both sides here. Personally, like Bonaventure, I mean, Duquesne does have Dayton on deck. So, I mean, I'm not saying they're looking past the Bonnies whatsoever, but they've got 2 big games coming up at home here. Bonnies don't turn it over whatsoever. The best 3-point shooting team, 2nd best free throw shooting team. They don't block. They don't get shots blocked. They don't turn it over. They rebound pretty well on both ends. Duquesne doesn't foul, or Duquesne fouls a lot too. Bonnies don't. Probably gonna ride the Bonnies here.
Yeah, I would just look at Duquesne. Another terrible free throw shooting team, 64%. That's gonna matter in some close games. Bonaventure on the other hand, 74%. Shooting a lot, shooting 78% in conference, like you said. Duquesne fouls a lot, which means Bonnies can really convert at the line. And even if Bonaventure fouls Duquesne, even though they don't foul them a lot, if they do end up fouling them, Duquesne might struggle converting some of those points, maybe some of those 1-on-1s, giving up, 2 free points, missing the front end of a 1-on-1 here and there. Can go a long way in this. I think, Bonaventure was the hottest cover team and then they've really struggled the last. I think they've covered they failed to cover 2 of the last 3, and they're 2 outright losses. So I think maybe I like the Bonnies. I'm going to star it. I like Bonaventure laying 1.5.
Yeah, it's just you get a short spread like this. I know they're on the road, but they shoot free throws at least well. Duquesne's been playing good, but they're kind of due a loss. I know they lost to Davidson 3 games ago, but they've been playing really good. Bonnies need this game bad. They can't drop a third here, or they're kind of screwing themselves in the A10 here to potentially fall back 2 games behind Mason. There's 8-point favorites tomorrow, so I think they get up for this game. If you want it, I would say grab it now, and I would just play money line personally. The money line is -135. I guess would you rather pay 20 cents for essentially a point?
Yeah.
Or just lay 115 for the -1.5.
I'd lay the -115. I'd lay the -1.5. Good free throw shooting team. I'd feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah. Save yourself 20 cents.
If it was reverse and Duquesne was favored by 1.5, I would definitely be on Duquesne money line.
It's Paul.
Outright. Cash it.
39-game Big East losing streak. 30 fucking 9.
Not 40. 39.
Hold on. What did IU do? They're in overtime.
We're in overtime.
I almost grabbed IU live when they were up like 6 with 3 minutes left I almost grabbed the -110. So glad I didn't.
2 years from tomorrow, Danny Dumbshit said. It would have been exactly 2 years since their last conference win if they would have played tomorrow. If only, Danny, they could have went to like quadruple overtime and like got the win at like
tomorrow
12:03 East Coast time. That would have been sick.
Would have been something. All right, moving on. Here we go. Take it away.
Me?
You're the one who sent me it.
Yeah, I forgot about that actually. I was just scrolling through Twitter, saw a little clip about Roy Williams was in the locker room at Monmouth, giving him kind of a pep talk here coming in before the game today. Pretty good pep talk, just talking about how it doesn't matter about what you've done in the beginning of the season, against the teams that, those bye games that you should lose, that what people remember you by is kind of what you finish the season doing. So I kind of like that angle of this Monmouth team maybe getting up here. I've liked how they've played here as of late. I know they dropped the game at Delaware, got blown out, and then lost to UNC Wilmington, but turned around and beat Charleston at home outright by 11, and then took care of NC Central on the road. I think this is a good spot for Monmouth here. I'll take the +3. I'm going to star it. I haven't decided if I'm going to truly bet it yet. This is their second of the 4 straight road games. So I think, if you're wanting to bet Monmouth and kind of get on this, now would be the time. I think they're definitely going to drop that Elon game next. And then after that, they head to Bill and Mary, where they probably drop that one too. I think Campbell's pretty gettable this year. They haven't been as good as in years past. They also just played 2 juggernauts in Elon and Charleston back to back, so that was also on Monday and Thursday. So now this is their third game in of this week in 5 days. So I like Monmouth here. I'll take the +3. Haven't quite bet it yet, but I'm probably going to.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree with everything you said. Monmouth, that's a get up spot. You got Roy Williams coming in, giving you a pep speech here. You're hitting the road to play one of the top teams in your conference here. It's only a 3-point spread. I think they kind of get up for this game. I kind of like Monmouth outright. I'm with you. I'm writing down Monmouth +3. We'll see how I'm feeling by the end of the night. If there's anything else, I just not feeling bunch. I'll grab that one, but I'm with you. I'm not even gonna go further into that because you pretty much just touched on everything I was going to.
And that was kind of, the big thing was why Roy Williams was there was because back, I think Roy Williams might have still been at Kansas, but he's known King Rice for a long time, since the 80s. But he kind of actually King Rice was, I believe, coaching at Oregon at the time, but then got out of the college coaching, and kind of Roy Williams talked him into getting back into coaching. And since then they've had a really good relationship, really big. And so in that video, Roy Williams makes it a point that he always checks the box score every time Monmouth plays because he really cares about King Rice. So, there's a mutual respect there, and the fact that Roy Williams is, kind enough to go out of his way to go there and do that and talk to those players. That's a pretty neat thing.
Yeah. And I did see somebody asking about the Arizona-Texas Tech game. That is coming up. There are some lines that I don't have, so I'm just going to skip the games. Like Winthrop, Asheville, I do not have a line for that. So won't be touching on that. We'll double back because that's a good game. So
for sure.
If there's a line at some point, we will take that. Wake Forest heads to Vatech. Kind of like Vatech here, man. They've been playing good ball. I know they lost at Stanford. First ever weird travel spot there. So I'm not going to really hold that against them. But, I mean, they beat Miami on that miracle comeback that we were on. That was huge. They went to Stanford. Hung tough, just blew up late in that one. And then beat Cal, and then have just beat NC State at home. Now they have Wake Forest with Georgia Tech on deck, so not a big deal. North Carolina's on deck for Wake Forest. So I'm on Vatech here, +4. I think they win the game outright, to be honest, because Wake Forest just beat Stanford. They're on a 4-game win streak. They're sitting here at 5-1 in conference play. I want to say 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1 in conference play here. They got the big one on deck next against North Carolina at home. So I think they kind of just going through the motions here. Against Virginia Tech here. So I'm going to take Vatech +4 tomorrow.
I'll battle you here. I think Wake Forest is a much better team than who Virginia Tech has faced recently in their wins against Cal, against NC State, against Miami. So I don't mind. I'll battle you. I don't know if I'm going to bet. Are you betting it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I might battle you here. I'm going to start. I'll come back to it. I'll let you know if I battle, but I just like Wake Forest. Wake Forest. Typically, Steve Forbes teams, they kind of tend to drop a couple, like one of these games. That Miami game was kind of a game that I thought they might potentially drop on the road. But I think they really, if they are even looking ahead, they've got a gauntlet here coming up. They've got North Carolina and Duke at home. Then they go to Louisville and then Pittsburgh back at home. So, even if they are looking ahead, I think they're really, they know that they need to take care of this game. And they're one of those bubble teams that they can't afford to be dropping these games against a Virginia Tech. So I like them here with the 4. So I'll battle you. I'll bet it.
All right, bring it on. Side note here.
No more pacifist. There you go.
Yeah. If there's anyone who's ever in here, just drop a like and subscribe if you haven't. We go live like 5-6 times a week. There's only a handful of other places out there that actually do that. So if you just want to drop it, we appreciate it, and hopefully see and hear more. Because
sure. And also, if you're watching and we've skipped over a game, we're at the 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 Central window right now. If we skipped over a game that maybe you wanted us to go back and talk about, we'd more than love to go back and talk about it. Also, if you have any angles when we're talking about a game, or if you have a game that we didn't talk about but have an angle, just drop it, and we'll more than happy to go back and talk.
Absolutely. Here we go. Davidson at what you call it? Rhode Island. Some more A10 action here. Davidson off of the LaSalle loss, hitting the road again. Rhode Island has been alternating wins and losses since December 21st. They just lost also.
So they're going to win.
Yeah, if it's going to follow the trend here, yeah. Rhode Island's offense is actually just pretty bad. They don't shoot free throws well. Rhode Island's really strong at defending the three, where Davidson shoots pretty strong, but they have no interior whatsoever. Davidson has the size, they keep offensive teams off the glass, but they don't rebound on offense very well, which is the problem. But they do have the size tomorrow, so I think that'll help them out a little bit more. Davidson doesn't foul a lot, and I'm just looking at this. Rhode Island fouls a lot in A10 play here too, so it's a big game. Let me look at the standings here. Davidson is sitting 2-2. Rhode Island sitting 2-3. So obviously Rhode Island doesn't want to drop 2 and 2-4. But I still think Davidson's a better team here. I think with their size, their shooting ability, they play better defense, and they got more size. I mean, just at the end of the day, like that will factor in a little bit. So I like Davidson +2 here.
Can't coach height, right?
You cannot coach height.
Yeah. It says Davidson's offense is their offensive rebounding percentage is 315th. They're not good at offensive rebounding. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. No, defensively they're good. Like they don't give you second chances, but
offensively they struggle on the glass.
Yeah. And they shoot better free throws. They shoot overall better. I know Rhode Island's at home, so you got to factor that in. But I think too many people are buying into Rhode Island's going to bounce back. They need this game. Davidson needs it too. If you're just looking at this, I mean, they can essentially be a game back behind Mason and VCU prior to. VCU is going to go 5-1 now. They can go 2 games behind VCU, 1 behind Mason. If Mason loses tomorrow, they'll be a game back also. So, I think it's a big game for them. Not the biggest conviction on this game, but still going to be a good game nonetheless. And I like Davidson, but we'll see if I end up betting this at all.
Yeah, Davidson had Fran Dunphy right where he wanted them. Up 16 in the first half against LaSalle, and LaSalle just storms back and gets that win. I'll take Rhode Island minus the 2. Like you said, I don't love it. Don't really have a strong conviction on it. There's times at Rhode Island, I've bet them a few times this year, so I've watched a few games, and there's just times where they get into these like scoring droughts and these lulls, and they just cannot score the ball. And so that's something that I worry about, especially against a Davidson team that can definitely put up some points. But I will take Rhode Island. I think, back-to-back road spot for Davidson here. Rhode Island, both of the teams off the loss, but Rhode Island's here at home. Obviously, that's a big thing, is protecting home court. I really like the angle of the home teams, especially coming off a loss and returning home. So yeah, give me Rhode Island minus 2. I'm probably not going to bet it, but that's kind of where I stand on that. And UCLA has 72 points with 13 minutes left.
Dude, crazy. I mean, I guess they had to break through eventually, but oh shit, what happened to my freaking Air Force feed?
And speaking of breaking through, Huffer needs to get in the chat because his Hoosiers just took down the Buckeyes outright. Fuck the points.
Ultimate buy low.
77-76 in overtime. Ballo with a freaking all-American class game. 21 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists.
Yeah. Sammy Stu's on Monmouth with us too, so there we go.
Heck yeah.
A little mini squad ride going on here tomorrow.
Or is he saying Monmouth's is one of the best logos? Is that what he was saying?
I'm gonna pretend to believe he's he or she's gonna squad ride with us.
We're doing both. I like it.
Elon has the Delaware. Elon's catching a point and a half again.
They just went outright against
Just
Drexel.
like they did last game. This is the same angle as the Georgia game. Catching, well, they're not laying points, but they're catching the same points that they were last game that they ended up winning outright.
Yep. So you
They won
think
at Drexel.
Delaware at home?
Delaware is in need of some wins here. And KenPom's got them losing by 2.
Yep. Elon's 4-1 in conference. Delaware's 3-2. This could square them up. Both 4-2. I freaking didn't bet Elon. Me and Huff were talking about this. He pulled the trigger. He bet it. Kudos to him. I should have bet it because I was on him. I didn't like the Drexel. I don't like the Drexel team this year. They haven't really impressed me. I do, however, think that Delaware is a pretty solid team. They're up and down, but they're at home here. And like you said, this angle of, Elon already off of an away spot. They won where they were catching a point and a half. Now, same exact deal. And Delaware's laying the point and a half again. I like Delaware here. I will probably end up locking up the Blue Hens.
Yeah, I want to bet Elon, but I don't know if I can fully get there.
Well, you said it's the same angle as the Georgia, as the.
I know it is, but you look at it, the size.
It's true.
Yeah, the size advantage is crazy. They get to the free throw line 40% of the time. Free throw to field goal attempt ratio of 40.3, number 1 in the conference, number 1 offensive rebounding team, number 1 free throw shooting team, number 3 inside here. I know Delaware's offense is really good too, but Elon's got some fairly decent defense. They don't foul you. Problem is they don't force turnovers either. So Delaware will probably get shots up, but they're not going to be going to the free throw line a bunch. Elon's second best at, I think that's second most points given up from 3, which Delaware can take advantage of. But you look at this, 28.6% of the points come from 3, which is 12th in the conference. So they shoot 40%, but they don't shoot a lot. So these numbers are a tad skewed just due to low volume.
Yep.
They're not going to get anything interior wise because, you got 7'4" Van Komen, 6'11" guy inside, and the tallest guys for Delaware, 6'8", 6'9", Houston Emery. Does he play? He hasn't played in 4 games. So 6'8". But Delaware could just make this a small ball game and kind of render those guys ineffective based on pace of play also.
Yep.
Elon likes to play slow, but this total is 150, 149.5.
Yeah. So
kind of that Delaware is going to
telling you
make it uncomfortable and just kind of force those guys to be useless and force Elon to play a little bit small ball lineup, which isn't their specialty. So I'm going to write down Delaware.
I'm
with you on this one.
Yeah.
But on paper, everything points to Elon just dominating this. I don't know if I'll bet it because I'll feel real stupid if I fade the team that has the uber size and the free throw advantage. So I'll lay off. You said you were betting this?
I haven't put it in yet. It's starred though for sure. Also, like you said, KenPom has Elon winning by 2, but Delaware's favored. So another kind of is this point to just, hey, Delaware's going to win this outright.
Yeah. Yep, I'm kind of with you in there. I may play this. Here we go. Here's the Texas Tech game who somebody was asking about.
Yeah,
why don't you kick us off? I gotta type in a few more games here now.
That's good. Yeah, it was Sammy Stu that was wanting the this Texas Tech game. This line's sitting at 4. I will take Texas Tech, laying the 4. My biggest reason for this is that they have started out in conference Big 12 play 0-2 at home, which is unheard of for them to be doing there in Lubbock. They're usually a solid home team. They're 3-0 on the road, but they've dropped game to UCF at home, and then game to Iowa State at home, which they probably should have won. Missed a couple front ends. And Iowa State, Hilton Magic somehow trickled its way down to freaking Lubbock, Texas. In that, Arizona's been playing a lot better. They are 5-0 in Big 12 play right now. I think that kind of comes crashing down here. They take their first loss on a 7-game win streak. Last one they lost is UCLA. I expect Texas Tech to kind of muck this up, make this kind of a defensive battle. But if they need to score, you've seen Texas Tech's offense has been a lot better than in previous years. So I like Texas Tech here, laying the 4. I will bet this for sure. I think this is a big bounce back spot for them to get their first home win in Big 12 play. I don't see them going 0-3 at home in Big 12 play. And like we had talked about last night, everybody should be back on campus, all students. I think the latest they'll start is next Tuesday. So obviously, if you're a student and you're starting Tuesday, you're for sure coming back on Friday so you can party Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Rest up on President's Day and start your spring classes. So I think it'll be a lit environment there, as it always is. But now with the students back, even better.
Yeah, I'm with you. Arizona's been really hot though. That's the problem. They've been very, very hot. Texas Tech. Oh, my mouse is charging. Texas Tech. What did they? Sorry. Yeah, they beat Kansas State barely on the road, but they're back home. Last time they were home, they lost to Iowa State. They have Cincy on deck. I don't think they're really looking ahead to that. Yeah, Arizona's beaten Baylor, UCF, West Virginia, Cincy, TCU. So not a murderer's row of teams. Not a murderer's row. You got Texas Tech that's legitimately, contending for the Big 12 here. I know they're 2 games back from 3 of these, but Arizona is tied for first. So I know they're going to want to get it done, but I think Texas Tech's defense is going to be a different level than they've seen. I think that winning streak ends tomorrow, and I'm with you. Give me Texas Tech at home. They had that Iowa State game, and they blew it. I think at home again on a Saturday, this place is going to be loud. I don't think they're going to fuck this one up and lose this. So give me Texas Tech by 4.
Looks like
Stony Brook heads to Towson tomorrow. Towson's laying 13 with an over-under of 133. It's kind of like Towson is, but at the same time, Towson just eliminated a 19-point deficit and managed to come back and win and cover for us. Shout out Towson. But Stony Brook has been real bad once they've hit conference play. They did the last win was Maine. Lost to Albany on the road, lost to Monmouth on the road. Albany by 7, Monmouth by 22, William & Mary by 7 at home. Drexel, they lost by 16 at home. Northeastern, they lost by 4 at home. And then they just lost by 10 on the road at Delaware. Another road game at Towson. Towson has really been their offense, minus last game, they couldn't hit anything. They were awful first half. Second half, they looked so much better. I think they hit the ground running again. I think Towson wins this by 15, 16. I think Stony Brook really struggles to score here. Actually, is that team total out? Because I might be interested in fading a Stony Brook team total. That is not out yet. I think Stony Brook struggles to get to 60 in this one. So, I mean, I could see like a 70, 74, like 58 type of game. Something like that. I think Stony Brook really struggles here.
I like that angle.
Yeah, it's just they're terrible on defense. They give up the highest effective field goal percentage on defense. They give up the most from 3. Towson can really take advantage of you there. Stony Brook does shoot free throws well, so they might get some free points there. But Stony Brook sends you to the line a lot. Towson rebounds extremely well, so they'll take away second chances. They'll get extra possessions on offense. Yeah, I'm gonna take. I don't know if I'll take it just because of what happened last game for Towson, but I like Towson to kind of get this done tomorrow here. I think as long as Stony Brook doesn't hit 60, I think Towson covers this.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what that that team total is. I mean, you know, Ken Palm's got it, 73-61. So I would assume maybe that what's the total at? 133.
133.
So I did some quick math real quick. 73-60 would be 133. So I would assume that the team total will be right at 60, maybe 60 and a half. So that would be, you know, I kind of like that Stony Brook angle. I don't see them getting above in the 60s. But also, you know, I don't think you could go wrong laying Towson minus 13. You know, off the big comeback win, yes, but they also didn't hit shots.
Yeah.
They hit shots down the stretch, which obviously allowed them to get that win. But, you know, it could be a spot where they just they get up. But the only other thing, too, is I just thought about this, is the Ravens are playing on Sunday against the Bills. Are people still going to be lit at this, or are people just not going to be at this and be in their homes getting ready?
I think if you're going to Towson basketball games anyway, you're going regardless. I don't think it's a big event for that.
True.
Are you watching this Air Force game right now?
Yeah.
I like that sideline reporter.
Oh yeah.
She was asking some good questions.
She was asking you questions, or she was just looking good?
It's for you to decipher, but she was doing great work, great questions, great sideline reporting. Anyway, back to the game here. Yeah, I again, it comes down to if Stony Brook can score. If they can't, it's Towson easy. If Towson's kind of sleepy, gives up 62 points, they're not going to cover this game.
Man, this next game, Delaware State, Virginia Lynchburg. Just kidding.
Right.
Just kidding.
The line wasn't out yet for that one, so I had to hold off. But no, Stanford heads to UNC. Once conference play started, metrically, UNC's offense is terrible. Their defense, number one holding teams effective field goal, number one from limiting 3-point percentage, number two inside. Stanford shoots free throws very, very, very well, which could bode to be a problem for Stanford. But UNC, their free throws may look red, but they're shooting 77%. I mean, that's not bad. 88.7% for Stanford is not. I don't think that's maintainable for the season. I mean, they shoot 77% on the season, which is really good, but 89%. Come on, they got to come down to earth eventually. They're hitting the road. They get a lot of their shots blocked. UNC, 12% of possessions they block on defense. So I think they'll probably steal a few possessions there. I think Stanford's going to miss some free throws tomorrow. I don't think they're going to shoot 89% all year, especially hitting the road in Chapel Hill. It's going to be a ruckus environment. Rebounding's about even for both. I just think the pace may kind of fuck up Stanford, and the fact that it's 155. This kind of gives me the same vibes of the UNC Cal game, where it was like laying 14. I think UNC probably wins by 15 here, 2 at least. Stanford off the Wake Forest loss, but this is the second game of that cross country trip.
I was about to say I was going to play devil's advocate there and go with Mac's angle of, you know, second out there on the trip. You know, always tend to play better, but look what happened to Iowa tonight.
Yeah,
second.
Well, Iowa doesn't play defense. That's a problem, and you could argue Stanford or UNC doesn't. Stanford's all right. Actually, Stanford's also asked too. So this could just be this could be a rough spot. But
yeah, it's funny how like the script has kind of flipped on this UNC team. You know, out of conference play, they were you know, not very good defensively, but really good offensively. And now in ACC play, it's like flipped where, you know, their offense hasn't been great, but damn, they've been guarding people really well. And maybe it's because, you know, they've played not the greatest of competition, but it's the ACC. There's not really a lot of great competition. But, you know, home games in the ACC and conference play, you beat Cal by 26, you beat SMU by 15, and then you beat Georgia Tech by 3. But that was really early on. That was even before Christmas. So I'll take UNC minus 11. I'm probably not going to bet this though, think it's a big number. I don't really feel comfortable betting it. Just with that angle of Stanford's second game out there, going to be more comfortable out there on the East Coast. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's their second trip out there. So obviously they've done this trip once. I think
they went to Louisville and Notre Dame, so they didn't go. They went to almost middle, a little past middle of
No, they went to Clemson and Pittsburgh.
Oh, I'm looking at North Carolina. Yeah. Oops.
So they went to Clemson and Pittsburgh. So, they've done this trip twice now. So that's the only thing I wants to kind of hold me off. And, there's, as I always say on these huge slates, there's 8 million games. I'm not going to force a play on a UNC minus 11 if I don't absolutely love it. So,
yep. New Mexico's steamed up. It's 4 now, right before tip-off. So I'm gonna hopefully grab a little more New Mexico in-game live. I'm sitting 3.5 pregame. If they go down early, I'm gonna grab them. Next, St. Louis heads to Richmond minus 7.
Sammy, the Stanford, I'll just answer this question real quick. So yeah. The Cardinal instead of Cardinal, so it's not after the actual. So I was actually in high school. My mascot was the Cardinals, and that was for the bird. The Cardinal was actually for the red color, the Cardinal red color that Stanford has in their like they wear on their jerseys and all those things. So that's why it's Cardinal. It's for the color red, not the bird. So. But yeah, St. Louis, Richmond.
Yeah, this one, Richmond sucks. St. Louis off the loss. Need to hang in. They shoot the most threes. Richmond gives it the 5th most. The turnovers though is the issue with St. Louis here. They turn it over a ton. Struggle on the boards, but both do. So I mean, I think it could kind of render 50-50 there. But I think the turnovers are what scare me. But I think St. Louis gets this done. Richmond isn't good. Even with them forcing turnovers and getting quick buckets, they have not been sharp this year. So St. Louis for me. Probably not going to bet this, but I am intrigued.
Yeah, and I know in the Twitter Spaces, which will be live again tomorrow morning, but in the Twitter Spaces, Max Hoffmeyer had said that Richmond's leading scorer, 18 points a game, was out. I'm not sure if he's back. I'm looking at that real quick. Let me know if you find it.
Sorry, what were you asking? My bad. I was responding to something.
Oh, no, you're good. I know in the Twitter Spaces last Saturday, Max Hoffmeyer from Shot Quality was telling us that one of the best players for Richmond was out. He was that guy that averaged like 18 a game.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about we were going to be on Richmond.
Good find.
I was trying to just see what that
I think Delani Hunt.
Yep.
He was DNP. Let me.
Yep. And he averages. Yeah. Yep. That's him. Because he's, he averages 17 a game, 17, 3, and 4. He's been out for.
I could just DM him quick.
Yeah, no, that's him. That's him. I was just looking at it. He's expected to miss 8 weeks. He injured himself.
So yeah, St. Louis. I'll lock it up then.
So that would be, if they obviously they've had what now? Let's see. He heard that on the 8th. He heard it at Georgia Mason. They had the 1 game bump where they lost in overtime against Rhode Island. As we've said, Rhode Island's not the greatest of teams, and they got beat by 14 against Bwani. So yeah, I like St. Louis here, especially after St. Louis got their ass kicked by VCU. 16, they'll have to respond.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you. I'm actually gonna bet St. Louis now. So next, Colorado heads to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's laying 3.
Sammy Stew. I'm glad you're kidding because I have no fucking clue what a Billiken is.
It's like a bird, I believe.
Let's see.
And both these teams suck. Oklahoma State's got better defense. Oklahoma State off of the BYU slacking. Colorado.
Shit off the Utah and BYU slacking.
Yeah.
They do play well at home. I mean, they lost to Houston by 13 at home.
That happened. They should have covered that game.
They should have, yes.
I mean, they play a lot better at home. Anytime they've hit the road, they just got shit on. So yeah, I'll take Oklahoma State. I do not like this Colorado team.
Yeah, I agree, Danny.
It's just defense will win. Colorado just plays too frenetically and turns it over.
I think one kind of stinks as well. But I'm not gonna bet this. There's better games to bet than to watch one of the two of the bottom tier Big 12 teams. Go at it.
Yeah, I'm not spending much time on it, but I don't mind Oklahoma State. I got to make some fucking.
No, that would be the side, and it looks like I was just looking at the chat. Sammy Stu said, "I guess the Billiken is like a dumb good luck charm guy."
Oh well, that bears well. I mean, good luck. That Richmond's best player is going to be out.
Let's see. Are you doing North Dakota State, South Dakota? I can start.
Merrimack. Merrimack's laying 6.
Merrimack's laying 6
against Siena.
Against Siena. Merrimack is at home. Let's see.
Off the loss.
Yep. Siena's off the Girth Brooks is on Colorado money line.
I wish you the best of luck, my guy.
Siena is off that 18-point win against Sacred Heart. And Merrimack is off that 5-point loss to Quinnipiac back at home, where they had just beaten Manhattan at home before that loss against Quinnipiac. They're 5-1 in conference. Siena is sitting at 3-3 in conference. Man, it's always hard betting on the MAAC. These spreads of like 5 or higher, because it always seems like damn near all of these games are like 1 to 2 point games.
Yeah.
But I like Merrimack in this spot because they just lost to Quinnipiac on the road. They're returning home. They obviously, as we always state, they have the best player in the MAAC in Bud Clark. Siena also off the fresh, just 18-point ass kicking of Sacred Heart, which not a lot of times do you see a MAAC team freaking win by 18. So I'll take Merrimack. Probably not going to bet it. Only angle I have is I'd bet Merrimack because Mac Miller came out with his new album. But that's about all I got.
Yeah. You know me. I like Merrimack. The Siena team's been a lot better this year, though. That's the thing. But when they hit the road, they lost by 19 at Quinnipiac. They did beat Cornell, which was a hell of a win. Hell of a win for them. They beat Canisius on the road, lost to Niagara on the road, Xavier Albany, Els on the road, and then they beat Bryan and Brown. So, I mean, this team is – what the fuck are you going to get with this team?
Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, I think Merrimack is the better team here. They're at home off of a loss. I mean, they beat Manhattan by 7, beat Fairfield by 13, beat Boston U by 3. They did lose to Princeton at home by 11, so I'll give them that. But they did beat Vermont at home too by 14. Start the year. Is the 6 maybe a little big potentially? Merrimack's defense is just a different level. They don't turn it over. They lights out from 3. They shoot about the same free throws, and Siena sends you the line a ton. So I think Merrimack's going to have a 5-6 point lead late, and I think they end up sending them to the line, and Merrimack gets it done. I don't think they're going to take the foot off their gas after almost blowing that early game. They won by 1, and then Yep. And then they just lost 2. So I think they come out focused and ready to play.
Yeah.
Merrimack is really, really tempting to play.
Speaking of just the, going all Patty C here, but, that game against Sacred Heart, Merrimack was away, but they only won by 1. Siena beat Sacred Heart by 18 at home, but yet Merrimack's laying -6. So,
yeah.
I think that can kind of be also telling in that regard. And Panda Express, Danny Dumbshit, I love Panda Express. I think the last time, or not the last, we were live last night. When was I live before that? Tuesday night, I think. That was at the game on, I don't know. One of these nights I was drinking out of a Panda cup because that's what I went to go get dinner. Panda Express, double orange chicken, fried rice, a little chili sauce, a little hot honey mustard. Ooh, making me hungry.
Next, I'll kick it off because it's my fucking team. Don't like the spot. USC's playing good. Wisconsin's first West Coast road trip. They're begging you to take Wisconsin with this 1.5. Would I be shocked if Wisconsin ends up covering? No, but it just feels a tad trappy with the 1.5. I think USC gets it done, especially when Wisconsin's favored by 3 on KenPom, but they're laying a 1 bucket. I don't like the spot. I'm not going to fade Wisconsin. A, because that's my team. 2, because they are better than them. But USC is just playing really good. So I think USC's live tomorrow to win this game. Obviously short spread, but they've been playing good ball, and I want to see what Wisconsin does in their first trip all the way over to the West Coast.
Yeah, USC's been playing well. They had that win at Illinois, and then they got that win at home against Iowa. Still at home, travel spot for Wisconsin. Coming off that win against Ohio State, where they freaking. Speaking of that, dude, I didn't even tell you this, but I freaking put in like a little, got a little $25 little parlay with some parlays of the spreads, and it was like plus 12, plus 1,400. The payout was like $600. Freaking everything's hitting. Get down to the end. K-State hits, and I'm walking out of Bramlage, and I look and I see, and I've got Wisconsin -2.5, and the dude misses the freaking first free throw, makes the second after they were up by 20. I was so pissed.
Yep, 17-point halftime lead, man.
Yeah, but I like your angle. I'm on USC money line. It's probably going to be a bet for me. Sorry. You bet against my team. I'll bet against your team.
That's fine. I think they probably lose tomorrow, to be honest.
We'll go from there. But I just think it's a tough spot for Wisconsin. Look to who they got on that second back. Oh, UCLA. Ooh. That's going to be an interesting spot. I'll be curious if USC wins. I'll be curious to see what that line is against UCLA after that. After this UCLA ass kicking of Iowa, they're going to put up 100. They got 90 with 3 minutes left.
I almost live bet them under 93.5 because they were up so much. Glad I didn't.
Good thing you didn't.
Yeah.
Coach is on whiskey.
I wish you the best, man. I wish you the best.
And he says,
just not sure how we're going to do.
If it is a better team on the road, getting less than 1 basket, is it really a pick?
Yeah, it should kind of tell you. I mean, Wisconsin's been the better team.
Got you, Sammy. Yeah, I think USC money line. I'm probably going to bet it. Do you think this goes up, or do you think this stays kind of here?
I think it kind of hangs around this number.
Yeah. You think I could get a better price on the money line if I wait like overnight, or you think it's more
for USC?
Yeah, for USC.
Probably. I think it'll go up a half point. It'll probably close around 2.5, 2 is my guess.
Yeah. I won't bet it right now. Then I'll wait. But yeah, I'll definitely look to bet USC money line here.
Sounds good. I'm just kind of going to move through to play more of the bigger games. If there's anything you want to stop and talk about, or anybody in the chat, just let me know. Just going to kind of move along with some of the like Mountain West, CAA, Big Ten, SEC type of games. Purdue is at Oregon -2. Give me Purdue money line. Oregon, Fugazi, Purdue's figuring it out. They just went to Washington and pummeled them. I know Oregon has been pretty good, but they've also just kind of been pretty shit since they've entered the Big Ten here. So I'll take the better team and in my opinion, the better coach with Painter. Purdue's just they're rolling, they're feeling good. I think they walk away out of this thing with 2 road wins. So I will take Purdue with the points. I'm just curious what the splits are saying. I'm sure Purdue's getting hammered, to be honest. I don't know. A lot of people are on Oregon. People are liking Oregon laying the points.
Yeah, this Purdue team pisses me off. Actually, the Washington State team pisses me off. How are you up 8 and you're getting what I bet on at 7.5 or 8, and you freaking lose not only the game, you lose the freaking cover. Golly. Man. I will take. I think I'll take Oregon. I might battle you here. Dana Altman is a much better coach than Danny Sprinkle. I think that can matter. And I think maybe Purdue is, okay going 1-1 on this West Coast trip. I'll take Oregon -2. And I wouldn't be surprised if this maybe turns into a pick'em. I think maybe people will be on Purdue as a dog. But you said Oregon the early money was on Oregon. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised though if it stays here, maybe goes to like Oregon -1 or something. I'm not going to bet it quite yet. I don't think this is going to move too much against me. But I'll look to bet Oregon -2 in a home spot here. Dana Altman. I like it. I like backing Dana Altman. I like him as a coach. I think he's proven it time and time again in the tournament that he's a really good coach.
Yeah, I'm with you. Or I'm against you. Let's battle. My bad. I'm confused. Next, Marshall's heading to Coastal. A team that has not won a single road game this year is laying 3.5 points. I know Coastal has lost some games since conference play started. They haven't been phenomenal, but at home, I mean, I guess they did lose to Louisiana. Maybe their home magic is wearing off a little bit here, but dropped their last two out of the 3 last home games. They lost to Louisiana, beat UL Monroe, then lost to Georgia Southern in overtime at home. I feel like this is telling you what the hell's going on. Marshall's going to get their first road win tomorrow.
Yeah, Marshall is off that tough game against JMU where they kind of battled back and freaking almost got that. That guy wouldn't have missed that 4-point play to tie the game up. Could have been a different game there, and JMU freaking ruined that cover too. But yeah, I'll take Marshall -3.5, but damn, I'm not going to bet on this team that is terrible away from home. I think you're right, probably though. A team that's 0-7 on the road is now laying points. I think that's pretty
2 possessions.
Yeah, I think that's pretty telling. I probably should bet it, but I'll write it down, but I don't.
Coach Marshall, he's taking the money line. A little juicy, but I mean, you wouldn't hate a little money line parlay with something. But
I don't.
Chanticleers have beat at home last 3 games. Line should tell it all. Bingo. I'm going to start this one. I'm going to start Marshall.
I probably should bet it, but it's also,
what's that?
As it is also, Ken Palm saying they're going to win by 3. So,
possible.
Spot, but yeah, I don't know.
Excuse me. Tennessee's laying 5.5 at Vanderbilt. I love Vanderbilt in the spot. Chaz Lanier's been awful for Tennessee as of late. They pulled away late against or second half against Georgia.
Thank God.
On the road, 4-point win at Texas, loss at Florida, which we saw. At Illinois, 2-point game. And then at Louisville, they smoked them. That was a Louisville hype game. I thought they would win outright. They didn't, but they've played some tight games. Neutral 13 at Miami, Florida, or against Miami, Florida. Baylor 15, Virginia 22. Luckily for Vanderbilt, this isn't a neutral. I think that building is going to be rocking tomorrow. In-state rival. They have it's a big game. Excuse me. And this line's come down from 7 with Tennessee getting walloped. So I'm going to ride with that sharp money coming in with Vanderbilt tomorrow. I think they're live to win this game at home. I know maybe on paper it's not going to seem that way, but Tennessee's offense is bad. It's not great. They rebound well, which could be an issue, but they don't get to the line. They don't shoot free throws amazingly. They don't shoot from 3. They don't shoot inside well. Vanderbilt free throws well. Tennessee's defense is pretty good. So I mean, like again, on paper, just makes like it's a Tennessee spot like to pull away late, but I think Vanderbilt's going to hang around. Maybe if you want to play first half, they come out inspired and play tough, but I think Vanderbilt's going to be hanging around this game. This is a huge game. It's kind of just throw out all the Stats. I mean, this is Byington. This is his chance at Tennessee and to really bring this crowd to buy into the program and what they're really doing. I mean, they've had a really great year. Their losses are Mississippi State at home. That was 8. They did lose at Missouri and to Drake on the neutral to start the year. But I mean, they beat TCU on the road, LSU on the road. They hung around with South Carolina. I think that was a look at game to this Tennessee one. They just never really pulled away. So I think they're going to hang in this game. I think they're going to muck it up. It's going to be defensive, and it's probably going to be like a 62, like 66 type of game. I think they're going to have chances late to win this game.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a Vanderbilt spot. The only thing that concerns me is that looking at that Mississippi State Vanderbilt game that Vanderbilt had at home. I think Tennessee can kind of do similar to them on the defensive side. They can kind of out physical them and kind of control the game that way. That's the only thing that concerns me is I tend to look at that Mississippi State game, but I think it's a Vanderbilt spot here. Tennessee's main 5.5. Yeah, give me Vanderbilt plus 5.5. I don't know if I'll actually bet it though, but I'll pick Vanderbilt 5.5. I definitely see your angle, but that's the only thing that's worrisome for me is just that Mississippi State Vanderbilt game. I think I consider Tennessee as like a similar to Mississippi State in regards to defensively, but the more I think about it, Mississippi State is definitely at least clicking more and all cylinders on the offensive side. And Tennessee's kind of been struggling in that regard. So yeah, give me Vanderbilt plus 5.5. I won't bet it quite yet, but I don't know. We'll see what I do. I like your angle though. I think I definitely can see that Vanderbilt money line definitely live.
Yeah, believe in the doors, man. Next, Bradley is laying 1 at Murray. It's 1 or a pick 'em. So I just put 1 at Murray State over under 136. I think Murray gets this one. If we look at Bradley on the road, they came away late against Illinois Chicago. They were losing that game the entire time, and then they managed to win by 1 late. Went to Indiana State, 1-point road win in overtime. Southern Illinois, they beat by 23. Congratulations. Washington State, also an L. So 3 out of the 4 have been 1-point games or losses. So I think that's why you're kind of getting this -1 here, because they're just like, well, fuck it, this is what they do on the road. They're on paper better than a Murray State team. But Murray State's really turned it around lately. And Bradley just put up 118 in regulation. They didn't miss. So I don't see that really continuing again. Murray State's off the double OT road loss. They're back home. At home, they've been much better. They did lose to Illinois State, but they've beaten everybody else. Oh, Utah Valley got them by 2 on a late shot. I remember that game because I bet Murray State before the MTE. But I think this is a Murray State game. I mean, they need this game. They're sitting 4-3. Bradley's sitting 6-1, and Bradley's laying a point on the road. I feel like it's kind of just telling you that Murray State's going to find a way to get this done. And if Bradley wants to shoot hot again, and after putting up 118, what did they shoot? They shot 22 of 25 from the free throw line, 16 of 38 from 3, and 24 of 34 inside. They shot 70% inside the arc, 42% from 3. That's just not sustainable or repeatable, in my opinion. I know Murray State interior defense isn't fantastic, but they have size to match up. Their 3-point defense is pretty damn good. They crash the glass like crazy. Bradley really struggles on the glass, and Murray State can force turnovers. But Murray State does give it away. I'll give you that. But I just like the spot for Murray State. I think they get a big win here at home.
Yeah, I like Murray State here as well. I think the coming off the double overtime loss to Illinois Chicago is a little worrisome, but you're coming back home to facing a Bradley team, as you said, could not miss. Literally beat freaking Indiana State, beat the brakes off of them by over 50. So you got a team that's coming off a 50-point win at home, now going on the road against a Murray State team. I mean, Murray State, their pace, they play at a very slow pace. They're not even going to give Bradley enough possessions and shots to even have a chance to get 118 if they went 100% from the field. So I like Murray State here. They've been playing well. They've gotten a couple big wins already against Drake, against Northern Iowa, both on the road. I think I like them to get it out right. Short little, I guess it's a pick 'em, -105, 110. So I like Murray State on the money line here. Definitely a star play for me.
Perfect. Yeah, I have it starred too. So let's fucking go and get this W, Murray State. Next, Texas is at Florida. Simple. Florida just lost at home. Texas just outlasted Oklahoma State after blowing a huge lead on the road. Now you're going to go to the road and face Florida, who just lost at home. And they allowed a shit ton. So Florida by a million tomorrow. This is one of my favorite plays tomorrow.
Yep. Don't overthink it. Florida, lay it. If you want to get cute and want to hit 2 bets, Florida, lay it. Florida team total over. But yeah, Florida lay it. I'm betting it. I agree with all your points. I don't need to go into too much more detail with that.
I just put a unit and a half, -10.5 on Bovada. So
yeah, and I would as Coach just said, put it in now. It's going to get to 12.5 tomorrow.
Yes, it will.
And I agree with Danny as well. Basically, alt lines. You could look at alt lining. You could, do this at like -11. You could do it like every -11, -13.5, -15.
Yeah, depending on how much you want to invest in it, but
I could see Florida winning by 20. So, if you wanted to maybe alt line it down to maybe -9.5, put like a unit and a half on it, or even 2 units at -9.5, depending on how high up you want to ladder. You could definitely look at that because I think this is a Florida smash spot.
Yeah, I'm with you. Next, Troy's at South Alabama laying. South Alabama's laying 4. If you want to kick us off, I'm going to type in a few more here.
Yep. No, you're good. South Alabama 5-1 in conference play so far. Troy 4-2. They lost heartbreaker to Texas State on the road or at home. Surprisingly, Troy has freaking lost their 2 home games. or 2 of their 3 home games in conference play. Two respectable teams. But South Alabama, on the other hand, 5-1, they somehow lost to Old Dominion at home in overtime, which I still don't really get that game because they're pretty good at home. I don't have a real good feel on this game. This is not a game. I'm just kind of trying to look into it a little bit right now because it's not a game that I really looked at coming into the show.
I just think South Alabama is playing a lot better, and they're catching teams off. I think they're laying 4 for a reason at home. I haven't looked statistically or anything into this game, but South Alabama's been absolutely dominating this year. I don't know if they lost the last game or not. Actually,
the craziest thing, man. They at home they lost to freaking Old Dominion, Western Illinois, as freaking Danny Dumbshit said, and Central Michigan. The weirdest thing. I mean, obviously, albeit the Central Michigan and Western Illinois games were in November, so it's totally different. But it's just weird random spots that they drop these home games at. I like the Troy team though. That's my only. I think that South Alabama wins, but I really like this Troy team. I've watched them a few times. I watched them when they got that win on the road against App State and against Marshall. I really like, the pieces that they have. But I tend to agree with you. I'm not going to bet it just because I like the Troy team. I can see them getting up for this spot, especially after dropping a few home games. They need to get back into the conference race and steal a couple games on the road. But I'll take Troy +4, but I will. I'm not going to bet this because I can definitely see South Alabama taking care of business at home. But again, they've dropped 3 random games at home, so it's
but they're not going to overlook this game. And if you look at Troy, no. They dropped 2 home games to better teams, and then they did beat Marshall on the road by 1. But Georgia State, App State, Marshall, and Louisiana Monroe, they're 2 wins. They lost to Texas State and Arkansas State, 2 of the better teams in this conference. Now they're going to hit the road.
I wouldn't say Texas State's better than them. I don't think. I think they lost that game. So obviously, clearly, Texas State is better than them in that regard. But
you got my brain shut off there.
Yeah.
But still, I like the South Alabama team. I'm writing it down. I don't know if I'll bet it. We'll see how I'm feeling when I get to that window. But I like South Alabama here at home. Next, Loyola Chicago's at Dayton. Dayton's laying 9.5 again. They've got to stick out of this funk eventually, right?
I was about to say this has got to be the one, right? 3 in a row, 2 on the road, then you drop the 1 at home. I mean, that game ended what? It was like an 8-point game. But damn, that was not an 8-point game. That was a double-digit loss, ass kicking at the hands of George Mason. That was shout out to Huffer, by the way, for being on George Mason on that and betting that.
Yeah, he called it.
Fantastic, fantastic call on that one. Just looking to see. I know Chicago's off kind of that weird Rhode Island win at home. I want to take Dayton, but I feel like that 9.5 is a lot. But if you look at Illinois, Chicago, when they played, solid teams, lost on the road to St. Joe by 36, lost to VCU at home by 19. Give me Dayton -9.5. I'm not going to bet it, though, I don't think. But I'm
with you. I didn't know if you would have a better insight on this, but This just feels like it's the one, man. They keep laying these numbers. They got to show up eventually. This feels like the spot. Can I get behind it? No, I was hoping you had something, but regardless, no play for me. I would take Dayton.
Yeah, the other thing that scares me too is Posh Alexander was out against George Mason, and he's still a game time decision, or I don't have any information on him. So it's like if he was playing, I would feel a lot more comfortable laying the 9.5. But as you saw what happened with him out. I mean, he's not, the end all be all. But when you're missing a guy like him, it can really hurt you. And 9.5, that seems like a lot. I don't know. I'll pick Dayton, but I don't think I'm going to bet it. I'll have to see it. I'll have to see that they've recovered and bounced back before I lay a big number like this again with them. I do think though you're getting a little bit of a little buy low spot.
I'm
here,
with you.
maybe, but
next is I gotta fix that. Notre Dame is laying 3.5 at Syracuse.
Laying 3.5 at Syracuse.
Did we just keep fading Syracuse?
I was about to say I hate this Syracuse team.
They're terrible. Autry's terrible.
But I will say, yeah, I can't believe I backed them against Louisville last week. What an idiot I am. JJ Starling, I do like him though. I do like how he plays. But yeah, I don't think I can fade Marcus Burton, the Marcus Burton Notre Dame team. I'll take Notre Dame minus 3.5. I'm not betting this though. There's better games to bet on than this. I'd rather bet a awesome low mid-major game rivalry. There's a couple that are coming up that I want to talk about, and I'd rather have that on the TV with my money on it than this. I'm not betting this because I don't want to even have to follow.
Don't fuck with Syracuse though.
Yeah, I agree with Coach. This game does not deserve our coin. No. And there is a nice little random fact. I just saw that too. Sean Miller and Archie Miller went to his high school.
Oh, that's fun. That's a fun fact. Small world. UMass Lowell's at Bryant. Bryant's laying 4.5.
Man, fuck this Bryant team.
I can't ever get a read on them. Bryant just beat Albany, Vermont, Maine. UMass Lowell did lose to Vermont, but I mean, they beat the same teams. They've played really well. St. Louis was a 3-point loss on the road. They did lose to Central Connecticut, but they're kind of feisty. Gonzaga smoked them by almost 50 or 60. Washington on the road, they lost by 5. So I mean, they play teams tough on the road. Bryant has they beat Maine, Vermont. Vermont was also, I believe, a revenge spot for last year. No, they did they not play Vermont last year? Where the fuck is this Vermont game? Oh, I'm looking at fucking Bryant lost at home by 17 last year to that Vermont team, so that was a revenge spot. If we look at go back to Bryant. Bryant last year against Lowell lost at home by 9, and then they lost on the road by 22, and then they lost to them in the American East tournament to kill their season officially.
Wait, Bryant got swept by UMass Lowell?
Yeah, give me Bryant tomorrow.
Bryant, lay it. I'll bet this. I'll put this on. I like this.
Easy cap.
I'm not. Yeah, that tells me all I need to know. The other thing is you look at it once it's been into conference play. Bryant's offense and defense is number one in conference, both in both offense and defense. I think Bryant at home. It's just hard. It's hard for me to get a read on this team because you just don't know what to expect with it. But I think that was the perfect cap right there that you just had. 0-3 against the UMass Lowell team last year. Obviously, there's going to be pieces on this team that remember that, and we are going to see Bryant get it. And you can also look at Ken Palm's got this only as a 2-point win. -4.5. Don't know where it opened, but 2.5 points kind of little bit higher than what KenPom has it. Maybe you could be telling that Bryant's going to get this win by 8 to 10 points.
Yeah, I think they smoke them by double digits, to be honest.
Yeah, but I don't know. You look at this and all of a sudden they just hit conference play and they figured it out. It's like they lost 4 straight heading into conference play, and all of a sudden you get Maine, then you beat Vermont, then you beat Albany. They've just kind of figured it out here in conference. So I'm not gonna fade Bryant, especially off of that 0-3 last year. Yeah, give me Bryant. I'm starting that -4.5.
Yep. Iowa State's at West Virginia. Moneyline Mac did say they're retiring Jerry West jersey or something, and Steve Ballmer's rolling out a check for the fucking program. I don't give a fuck. System play, fade the team who just played Houston, and that is West Virginia. So, give me Iowa State -6.5. I may or may not put this.
I'll battle you.
I'm going to go take a piss, so you take it.
Yep, sounds good. Yeah, I'm gonna battle them here. I think that Iowa State, off of the big win at home in Ames, Hilton Magic against KU. Now they're going to travel on the road to West Virginia. I know Iowa State's hard to fade. I'm not saying that they're not going to win this game, Denser. But you look and see what they did against Texas Tech. They figure it out. The issue I have with West Virginia is just their depth, their lack of depth. They're only playing 7 to maybe 8 guys, depending on the rotation. But you also have his Iowa State, Milan Cilovic. He hurt his hand in practice the day before the KU game, and he is out indefinitely. So I think that was that 1 game bump for him. I'm gonna go with West Virginia +6.5. I'm not gonna bet it quite yet. I think that a lot of money will come in on Iowa State, and I think that I could probably get this maybe closer to like 8.5, and then I'll probably go in on it. But yeah.
Yeah, if you like West Virginia, just play it tomorrow. It's going to be a better number for sure.
Yeah.
But were you play fade them off of Houston?
Did you hear me? What I was saying?
Yeah, I heard you. I know Monsilovic is out. I don't give a fuck. Small rotation.
Yeah, I know.
And they just played Houston.
That's the only thing that's I would already have betted if they were somewhat, if they weren't playing 7 people, 30 plus, like 5 other people play 35 plus minutes almost. So.
Yep. Next we got banger. Drake is heading to Indiana State over under 143.5. That total kind of tells me it's going to be a low scoring Drake slugfest. Indiana State does not look good. They've been scoring some points, but they're giving up a shit ton. What's that?
I said they're fresh off the ass whooping.
I'm aware, but Drake plays really slow. They do turn it over a lot because they're always looking for a better shot, but they force a ton of turnovers. They shoot well inside where Indiana State doesn't defend. Indiana State sends you to the line a bunch. Size advantage, it's about even, but I prefer Drake's defense, the slow pace, to kind of make it weird, and in their offense, they rebound way better too. I know it's off. Indiana State's off of the 60-point beatdown damn near, but I like Drake tomorrow. Let me see what these splits are doing. I bet you Drake's getting pounded, right? Yeah, Drake's getting absolutely fucking leveled.
-7. You think that's a little high or no?
No, because Indiana State struggles. They haven't looked good in conference play whatsoever. Their 1 win was a 6-point road win over Evansville. Lost to Bradley in overtime, lost to Valparaiso in overtime. So, I guess they're keeping games tight there, but Belmont and Bradley got them. I think Drake does too. Drake after they had that losing streak, they've been playing really well. So I like Drake tomorrow. And also there's the turnovers and rebounding advantage is clearly Drake. So
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna bet it. I think Drake wins the game. It's just I don't know if their pace of play and Indiana State being able to hit a couple shots there at home could maybe make this game like a 5-6 point game, maybe a backdoor cover or something. I will say, like, if you like Drake, take it now because it's probably going up to 9.
yeah, it definitely will.
But yeah, I'm not there. I will say if it's either you bet Drake or you don't bet anything. You don't want to bet Indiana State here. You can't trust them. Drake, they've kind of been sputtering a little bit, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything here. I think they're the way better team than Indiana State. So yeah, I'm not betting Indiana State. But so I'll pick Drake -7. But that number seems high for the pace of play that Drake plays, especially on the road. Targets on their back.
I see your angle 100%. I'm probably not going to bet this game, but I was intrigued. I'm going to watch it. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Eyeballs will be on this team, on this game. Next, Classic ACC, Cal's heading to NC State. NC State's laying 5.5.
Damn.
The fucking 5.5 number.
Yeah, we need the fuck is this?
What the fuck? And KenPom has a 7. Cal off of the UNC loss. NC State has SMU on deck, so maybe it's a bit of a look ahead potentially. But I kind of like Cal.
NC State off of that
nasty ass number.
NC State off of that terrible loss to Virginia Tech off of that 3-pointer.
Yeah, they've also just not looked good in conference play. They're 1-5 in conference play. Yeah. I'm sorry, 2-5. Florida State in overtime at home, Notre Dame by 1 at home. So I mean, they went to overtime at home to get a win by 5, and then they beat Notre Dame by 1 at home.
I mean,
they lost to North Carolina by 2 at home. So I mean, they play tight games at home.
Yeah, both of these teams, I mean, are ass. They're bottom tier ACC teams.
Yeah. So that's where I sit for that. Oh, I thought I had more games listed up. I guess I don't. Here we go. Egg Bowl, Mississippi at Mississippi State.
4.5? Is that what I'm seeing still?
I'm looking right now.
I think
he's 6 on DraftKings.
Ooh, it wasn't 4.5 earlier. So it's gone up to 6. That might change. That's funny how a 1.5 changes your opinion sometimes.
Maybe for you.
No, I'll still lay it with Mississippi State, and I'm probably going to bet it. I don't know what side you're on, but I like Mississippi State. I like them as a team way better than I like Ole Miss as a team. And the fact that Mississippi's just off of that Alabama road win. Now they go on the road into Starkville. Mississippi State also off that Auburn ass kicking, and they dropped the home game last Saturday to Kentucky. They're in a much needed spot here. So yeah, give me Mississippi State -6, and I will bet this.
Yep, we are aligned. Give me Mississippi State too. Mississippi State just what game are they off of?
Mississippi State, they're off the Auburn 20 point Auburn loss, and then last Saturday they dropped that home game to Kentucky.
And then Mississippi's off of the
Alabama win at Alabama. Now they gotta go to Mississippi State. I don't think they win back
at night.
Yeah.
At night, GG's. Mississippi State by double digits.
Yeah. I like that. Yep, I like this.
Here we go. I'm curious what your thought. Arkansas is at Missouri. Missouri's laying 5.5 off of the Florida road win.
Oh God. Do I have to bet this game?
You don't have to, but we will talk about it.
Okay, let's see. Arkansas's got to get one of these, right? But I don't think it's here. Missouri's been great. Missouri's been great at home. This is another old rivalry. Yeah, give me Missouri minus. I hate Lane -5. This freaking number smells. But yeah, give me Missouri -5.5. I guess. I'm probably not gonna bet this. But fucking Arkansas, man, what are you doing? 0-4 in conference. Do they win against Georgia or Oklahoma after this? Probably. They probably get a one of those, maybe both of them potentially. But the problem is, like you said, Missouri off that big Florida road win. But it's hard to fade Missouri at home. You beat Kansas at home. You did play ass teams in the beginning of the year. Didn't play anybody in the non-conference slate. But taking care of business at home, at least now in the SEC, with Vanderbilt, LSU, and then you also beat Kansas, which is kind of like their Super Bowl basketball wise. Yeah, give me Missouri -5.5, but I'm not betting this shit. No, thank you.
I'm really tempted to bet San Diego State or San. I'm looking at this again. Arkansas here. They need to win in the worst possible way. Missouri just beat Florida. They're going to come home and kind of potentially overlook Arkansas because they're so bad. And Dennis Gates, I don't think he's a terrible coach. I don't think he's a great coach. Cal, not a good coach. But I like Arkansas to get their first win here. I think they're alive. I will bet this game.
You're gonna bet it?
Yes, sir.
You bet this sneaky ass game? Ugh.
You betcha.
Hey,
it's a simple spot game.
More power to you. I get it. The spot, yes, you are correct. The spot is telling you Arkansas. Arkansas 0-4 in conference. Missouri just got the huge ass road win by 20 against Florida. Yeah, definitely telling you for sure. I totally agree, but I'm not betting this game. No way.
I should have doubled down in New Mexico pregame. Up 15.
They're up 15 now.
Western Kentucky heads to Middle Tennessee. Simple cap. Don't fade Middle Tennessee at home.
Hey, this is the 100 miles of hate. This is a rivalry.
Oh, this is the 100 miles of hate game, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So throw out home court on this, just FYI. But
I lost to Western Kentucky last year by 20. Beat Western Kentucky by 2 at home. Year prior, lost by 4 at Western Kentucky, and beat them by 5 at home.
Yeah,
year prior, beat them on the road, beat them at home.
They were really good that year. Was that
22?
Yeah, they were really good that year. Yeah, this is a tough. I mean, I agree. 100%. You don't fade Middle Tennessee State at home in Murfreesboro, but I don't know if I'm going to bet Middle Tennessee State here because of the rivalry. I'm definitely going to watch this game. This game's going to be on. This is a freaking awesome game. I love this game. So I probably should bet something in it. I don't know. You are you betting Middle Tennessee?
I was going to, but thank you for reminding me that. If I had to, I would play Western Kentucky now. These games are always tight. Very rarely are they blowouts. Middle Tennessee is better than last year, and they did win by 4. So, I mean, it's a better team. They lost by the hook with the spread last year, but these teams always play tight, so I'll take the points here. Thank you for reminding me that this is the hate game.
Yeah, I mean, Western Kentucky is ass on the road, and Middle Tennessee State is great at home. But this rivalry, man, it always seems to be a freaking knockdown, drag out game. If I'm gonna write down. I'm just gonna write down the spread, what it is right now, and I'm gonna pay attention to this. If I can get this at 3 or below for Middle Tennessee, which doubt it, but if I do, I might pull the trigger there. If I can get this at like 6 for Western Kentucky, I'll probably pull it there. Maybe even 5.5. I'll probably at 5.5. I'll pull Western Kentucky too. I'm gonna kind of watch this line movement, see where it goes, because I think that Middle Tennessee State will get the job done, but you never know. Rivalry, you throw everything out the window. So it's one of those where it's hard to see. If anything, I'd lean towards Western Kentucky right now, plus 4.5. No bet. I'll watch it and we'll see. But this is going to be an awesome game. I always love watching this game.
Yeah, this will be fun. Late night too. Absolutely. Next, we got we got an absolute banger out in the Coosa again here. We got New Mexico State at Liberty. Liberty's laying 7. New Mexico State pulled away from FIU. This is their 3rd straight road game. Liberty off of back-to-back road losses. I think it's pretty simple here again. This is Liberty at home.
Yep. But they did, and the other thing with this too is Liberty just dropped that game against UTEP too. At home. Their last
and back to back, and now they're oh yeah, it's true, they're not back home. They're staying home, but
they're staying home.
Back road losses. This is a big game. New Mexico State's above them in the standings. Look at this: 11-6. Liberty is 14-4, but they're 2-3 in conference. 4-0 in New Mexico State, and they're catching 7 points.
Yep.
Forgot it. Yeah. Liberty's
yeah, I like the Liberty minus. Is it 6 or 7? What is it? Is it 7?
7.
Can I interest you in the under 134?
Nope. I already bet a total today.
Okay. I'm going to probably stay off of the Liberty minus 7. I think that's the right side. But over 2 possessions, you're getting, 2 possessions. Sometimes that can be a little bit much, especially when you are playing a solid defensive team. Both of these teams are really good defensively. New Mexico State first in the Conference USA in defense. Liberty 4th. Both play at a really slow pace. I see this game in the 60s, maybe even the 50. It could be like 60, 56 or 60. Hopefully for your sake, it's like 63 to 55 or something like that. But I feel more confident in the under 134. I think this is a little bit high for 2 really good defensive teams.
Fair. Coach says he lives in Arizona currently. Local buzz to go see Grand Canyon at home. Never have gone. Dude, go see them before this team leaves. They haven't been the team from last year, but they still got dudes. And that environment gets lit. You gotta go by the end of the year, man.
Yeah, and Tyon Grant Foster, man, he was struggling at the beginning of the year. I think the money that they gave him was kind of getting to him, in my opinion. He's a Kansas City kid from the area. Was at KU first, but he's awesome, and he's starting to turn the corner, and he's playing a lot better. So yeah, you should, especially with the environment. That even if they're bad, that environment's freaking awesome.
Yeah, gotta go. Coach, he asked if I live chat in any other streams. Yeah. The Kyle Kerms college experience, Bet US, college basketball in the morning. It's like a 10 a.m. show. So I'm like, well, it's the only thing, any college content that's on that during there. So I'm in there for the hour. And then Mike Randall on YouTube too. Love Mike Randall. He's very sharp. So good guy. Those are the only ones I ever hop in though. I don't know if there's any others, but my time's consumed with all of those already. So Seton Hall is catching 9 at home to St. John's. Seton Hall. I will be on Seton friggin' Hall tomorrow. Seton Hall's offense has looked so much better. I know they haven't been winning games, but they're staying in there. They put up 77, which is on the low end lately. They put up 85 at Providence, 85 at DePaul in that comeback. They did lose at Xavier by 22. They put up 72, but 60-point loss at Georgetown, 67. So I mean, like, the further you go back, the worse the offense has been. But lately, 77, 91, 85, and then 72. Like, those are high numbers for a Seton Hall team. St. John's has been, kind of sneaking out some games here. They pull away late. Once they've hit Providence, once they hit, what's it called? Conference play. DePaul, they smoked them. That was at home, all right. Providence, 2-point win on the road at the buzzer. Creighton lost on the road by 1. Home against Butler, 8-point win. Xavier on the road, 10-point win. Villanova at home, 12-point win. That was a back and forth game for all of it to the last couple minutes, and 5 minutes or so, they pulled away. Georgetown, 5-point win at home. They're hitting the road. I think Seton Hall's defense can hang in. Their offense has been a lot better. If you go look on KenPom, it's fucking red and disastrous. But St. John's conference play, 21% from 3, 43.5% effective field goal, 66 from the free throw line. They're not playing great. They're not playing great. Their defense is what's holding them up. Seton Hall's defense, on paper doesn't look great because they've been giving up points, but their offense has been coming along. It's been showing up. They've been scoring. I think 9 points is too much. I think St. John's wins by 6 or 7. I think Seton Hall hangs in to get it done, or not get it done, but get it done via the cover. I've been liking the Seton Hall team. They've been playing really feisty and aggressive. So give me the 9 points of Seton Hall.
Yeah, I like Seton Hall here. Devon Smith might be still out for St. John's with that shoulder issue. I know he was out last game against Villanova. I think that Seton Hall at home is a good spot. I like backing Shaheen Holloway as a dog. He tends to get his players up for these type of games, especially at home. I think it's a close game. I kind of want to say that Seton Hall might be live in this game, but I'm not going to sprinkle really. I'm kind of going back and forth with that, but yeah, I think this is kind of one of those games where St. John just kind of skates by and kind of overlooks them, and ends up winning by 4 or 5, something like that. But yeah, I agree with you. I am on. Is it 9? Correct.
Yeah.
I'll be on Seton Hall plus 9. I saw it at 10 earlier. I probably should have freaking bet it then because I did like that. I just thought immediately that's too many points. So I'll go with my gut there. Yeah, and I'm not going to play it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Seton Hall, somehow wins this outright. 1-5 team beating a 6-1 team in the Big East. I could see it happening.
Yep, I'm with you. I'm trying to find this. Oh, here, I'm already on it. Here, I'll share you the links, Coach, in the chat. This is the BetUS link, and then Mike Randall. I'm not sure. He goes live like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, I believe. Kind of random days on the FTN YouTube. So it's just the whole channel. Like if you just search Mike Randall on here, I'll type Mike Randall. If you search that on YouTube, you'll pop up to his videos. He'll go live tomorrow morning. I think maybe like before us. I think he goes about 9 Central, 10 Eastern. So those are the two other than TCE and whatever you call it. The Kerms that I hop in on. I might actually be hopping on Kyle's show too at some point. So You may see me over there also. But yeah, Seton Hall for me. I don't care how ugly and disgusting it is. I think if St. John's was going to roll them, this would be 10 or 11. I think it's going to be a tight game, personally. So next game banners. Here we go. Duke's at Boston College. Mac did mention, which he is right, they do kind of struggle on the road there, but this Boston College team, I'm not a big fan of whatsoever. Duke has been steamrolling teams. They were going to beat Notre Dame by 20 plus again, and then Notre Dame just lit it up from 3 the last 4 or 5 minutes of that game to keep it close. I think Duke rolls, but this is all the way up to 23.5 now. I liked it when it was 20. Those were nice. But Boston College, Notre Dame 18-point loss. Syracuse, they lost by 8 at home. Went to Georgia Tech, lost by 19. They did beat Miami at home. 8-point win against Fairleigh Dickinson. Lost by 35 against SMU at home. Beat Stonehill by 4 at home. Home lost to Dartmouth by 5. Lost to South Carolina by 22. I still think Duke fucks them up.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
All you gotta say to me
I'm probably not going to bet this, but I'm writing Duke minus 23.5.
All you gotta say to me is that Boston College lost to Syracuse at home, that's about enough to get me to take Duke minus 23.5. I'm not gonna bet this. Hell no. But if you feel so inclined to bet this, bet it now, because as Duke spreads, they will always continue to rise. So
I don't think this will get up past 24.5.
No.
It's such a gigantic spread already.
The most it'd get to is 25. That I was surprised that Miami one even got up, because that Miami one even got up to 26, 27. If I remember correctly, that's what. Yeah, that was at home. That was at home. Yep, that was my whole thought process there. But yeah, I'll take Duke. I'll pick Duke minus 23.5. You'd be stupid to try to back Boston College or find it somewhat of an angle.
Yeah. UNLV heads to San Diego State after UNLV just knocked off Utah State. This is a toughie.
Yeah. It's another one of those big-ass spreads on a team that has a great defense and a subpar offense.
This is an easy play for me. Give me San Diego State minus 10. I think this closes 12 or 13. Let's look at UNLV's recent road games. Colorado State, 22-point loss. Colorado State, 22-point loss. Boise State, 22-point loss also. Lost at Dayton, 1 point. All right, they hung tough in there. Congratulations on beating Air Force by 19 on the road. That I'm not even going to fucking bother with that. Creighton, they lost by 18 on the road. And that was it. They're neutrals. Mississippi State beat them by 22. Northwestern beat them by 5. So their best road game, I'd argue. Well, Dayton, I guess, true road game. But other than that, Northwestern 5. San Diego State's going to lock them down. San Diego State beat Colorado State by 15. It was at home.
Hey, we'll see you, Sammy. Good luck with your bets. Appreciate you hopping in. Sorry to cut you off, but
no, you're good. Catch you later, Sammy. Hey, if you follow our Twitter, we are going to do a Spaces tomorrow morning, probably around 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern, roughly, give or take. But we'll go over that and then everything we're betting and that we have locked in and any other games. People can hop in, ask questions, do the whole shebang. So we will see you there tomorrow, hopefully. But thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
San Diego State for 10 by me.
Yep. I will tell you on that. I think that's a you definitely talked me into betting this game. Like you said, UNLV off that home win against Utah State. Then now you got to go to San Diego State. They struggle on the road all year. And now you're, playing one of the best defenses in the country. So yeah, give me San Diego State.
Yes, sir. All right. Denver heads to St. Thomas. St. Thomas is laying 17.5 at the Shoenecker.
The fuck is this line?
Denver sucks on the road. Denver's terrible.
Yeah, but
it's a lot of points. Team totals 86.5.
Yeah, that's the play.
I mean, let's look at Denver on the road, 91, 91, 95. They gave up 74 and lost by 15 to Cal State Fullerton. Portland State, 68-67. Portland, 101. That was a double overtime game. Subtract the OT games, 20. They still scored 81 on or no. Oh, shit. They scored 31. So they scored 70 in regulation. 83 to Montana, 74 Colorado State, and 85 to Stanford. They give up a lot of points, and especially recently on the road. They gave up 90 plus in 3 straight. South Dakota State, and Cal Poly. Cal Poly was overtime. I'll give them that. Subtract 7. They scored 76 in regulation then. So I'll give them that. So they scored 91 at least in regulation. The last 2 on the road. That defense is terrible. We know St. Thomas at home is a monster. Coming off the 119 game. Road. Home 100. Home 88. Home 98. Home 77. Tommy scores a lot at home. I don't know if Denver can honestly keep up with this. Denver's offense is terrible.
86.5.
That's the angle we got to figure out. Is the team total or the spread? St. Thomas did just put up 118.
Yeah, 119. Yeah, I know. That's the
problem.
Yeah, this might not be a bet for me either way. I might just lay off of it. If anything, I would be probably more inclined to bet the team total over, just because Denver's defense is god awful, and they've shown that they can score at times. And with a number like 17.5, Tommy's could be up by 20, and then they could just be like, all right, we're winning this game, and give up two late buckets, and you hit 17, and you're like, God damn it, why didn't I take the team total? Because it's like 91 to 74 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I would feel more comfortable with that. I don't mind the St. Thomas minus 17.5. I could see them winning by 20. But I'm probably going to lay off just on the fact that they're off of the North Dakota sweep, beat all the North Dakota schools, or all the Dakota schools, North and South Dakota. And then, they got this game, and then they go to Nebraska, Omaha, and to UMKC. Might be a little sleepy spot for them potentially. But they've also had a whole week off.
Yeah.
So I might end up betting the team total then. If they would have just put up 119 like a few days ago, I probably would have just laid off. But I don't mind this team total over, especially against the Denver team that just played on Wednesday and lost by 18 at home. So I'm more comfortable with the team total. What about you? What do you think?
I'm torn. It feels like a little too much both ways.
Yeah.
But
Denver
18-point loss, 19-point loss, 25-point loss, 21, 7, 8, 1, 15. I mean, as of late, they've just been getting the last 3 games they've lost by 18, 19, and 25. And then South Dakota, yeah.
Yeah, just the thing that worries me is it worries me to just like if I freaking bet the team total and then it ends up being like an 85-55 game. And then I'm like, well, damn it, why didn't I take the spread? And then I take the spread and it ends up being a 100 to 85 game. And I'm like, damn it, why didn't I take the team total? So it's kind of like, God, I don't know which way to go. But I do I think I lean more towards the team total just because they've had that they've had a whole week off. after that 119-point showing. I would say I would tend to just lay off the game completely if that 119-point win was on Wednesday or Thursday this week. But I don't know if I'm going to bet it still. It's still right there. I don't know.
If I had to choose a side, I would honestly lay the 17.5, I think.
Yeah.
Just because of how bad. But
hey, I could see both of them hitting too.
Oh, easily. It could be 91 to like 62.
Yep. Agreed.
I don't think there's a wrong way, but I would rather lay the points, to be honest. Personally.
Flip that, and that's me. So I think team total, but I don't hate that way either.
All right, we're getting down to it. If there's any games you or the chat want to talk about, go for it. I have 6 games left. UC San Diego heads to Riverside. UC San Diego's laying 9.5, 141 total.
It's too many points.
You think so?
I think so. I know San Diego is really good. They obviously had that bounce back spot after losing to Irvine at home. Smoked Long Beach State on the road, 26-point win.
Beer, I'm grabbing something to drink.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. I think Riverside, they should have probably won that game against Santa Barbara. They struggled in that second half. But I would, if anything, I think 9.5 is a little bit too much for a UC San Diego team coming up. It'll be a back-to-back road spot. So I don't mind, and I actually like this UC Riverside team quite a bit. They're pretty good. They're 3-3 in conference. They've lost 3 in a row. Now you're at home against one of the top teams in the conference. I think they can keep it respectable and hold it within 10.
I don't disagree with anything you're saying. Problem is UC San Diego already lost a game. They can't afford to be dicking around whatsoever in any of these games. They have gone on the road and just fucking destroyed teams.
Yeah, they're not gonna overlook anybody, as you said, but that doesn't mean that UC Riverside's not gonna get up and want to win this game or keep this close. I just think I think San Diego is gonna win. And it's going to be never really in doubt. But you're giving me 10 at home against the UC Riverside squad who's respectable. And, obviously the 2 games you circle, especially for this year, is UC San Diego and UC Irvine. So
I tend to agree with you.
My angle on it.
Tend to agree with you. San Diego's weak point on defense is the 3-point ball, 38.3% from beyond the arc in conference play. Riverside, 3rd most points in conference from the 3-point line also. So they can, if they're making the shots, I think they hang in. I feel like the 9.5 is kind of trappy that you're going to want, they'll win by double digits.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and
I'll ride with you. Give me Riverside.
You can always think of that angle of on these bigger 9.5. I mean, it never really is 10, 10.5, but it's usually 9.5 or 11. I always just think of okay, yeah, UC San Diego could control this and be up 10 to 15 the whole game, and then we just get a nice little backdoor cover there near the end, and so that's always in play on these bigger-ish spreads.
Yeah, I'm with you. Riverside, let's go. Next, LSU's at Texas A&M. LSU off the win. A&M is Wade Taylor going to be back for this one? I don't think so. Probably.
I doubt it. Why would they bring him back?
They got Ole Miss on deck on the road. I bet you that's the game he comes back to.
Not on the injury report. That I'm seeing, and I agree, Danny. I think Riverside can guard a bit, especially now that they're in in the Big West Conference. A lot more, better matchups for them. They match up well with almost all the teams. Just worrisome with the UC San Diego. Obviously, their offense is top tier in the league, but I do think that they can slow them down. That's why I kind of like them. But yeah, I don't know. I can't find. Let me look up all search and see if I can see anything else about Wade Taylor, because he wasn't on the injury report.
I think the angle to this one,
he's off the injury report after missing the last 3 games, officially off.
So maybe he does play tomorrow.
When 4 is healthy, 4 will play.
All right.
He is as of 3 hours ago. He is not on the injury report, and then John Rothstein said is available per the SEC injury report. But I mean, it's good to keep an eye on too. I'm not going to bet it now just because you never know. With a groin injury like that, he can, re-aggravate it, tomorrow during shoot around. See kind of how it goes, and he could re-aggravate it. It could tighten up on him, and they could hold him out. So I'm not going to bet this right now because that's a lot of points without him. I know LSU is not very good, but I would rather know what I'm getting, if I'm getting him on the team or not. Right now, this feels like this line is saying that he's playing. So I'm not going to take it in the chance that he doesn't play.
Yeah, I think the angle to this is LSU lose by 8 or 9. You look in conference play. Texas A&M fouls the most out of the entire conference. LSU shooting 85% from the free throw line. Texas A&M does force a lot of turnovers. That could be the thing. But without Wade Taylor, lost at Kentucky, lost at home against Alabama. 2 great teams. I'm not comparing them to LSU. Oklahoma on the road, 2-point win in that major comeback. With Wade Taylor, 20-point win at home against Texas. Smoked Abilene Christian by 38. Without him, Houston Christian was a 32-point game, whatever. So, I mean, like, without him, they've won by 2 on the road, lost at home, lost on the road by 12. I think LSU kind of hangs in a little bit here.
Yeah, even if he's back.
Solely due to the amount of fouls that Texas A&M commits, and you're going to give a team that shoots 85% in conference, 76 overall, so you're going to level that out, 78, 79% from the free throw line. They are pretty good interior, and they don't foul a lot whatsoever. They're fifth lowest. A&M does get to the line a lot and force a lot of turnovers and doesn't turn it over. So that could be a little bit of an issue for them. But I think the fact that LSU will have the advantage at the free throw line is going to what really comes into play here. Texas A&M doesn't defend the 3 either. So, I mean, 31% from 3 is better than 24% for Texas A&M, where that's where you can really expose LSU defensively to score the ball. So I'm tempted with LSU. I think they're feeling good after a win. They're going to go get a Wade Taylor-less team potentially. I think they could hang in this game by 9, 8 points, something like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also kind of think, now, thinking more about it now is like if Wade Taylor's back, he's missed 3 games.
Rusty.
There might not be, he might be okay. I mean, he could be rusty, but the team in general just having to play a different style of ball with him in there, people that were ball dominant guards that now aren't ball dominant guards anymore because Wade Taylor is playing again. I think it can take a little bit of time, and you're getting double digits. I don't mind that. Plus, Cam Carter, former K-Stater on LSU, I always love watching him play. Following him, he's a dog. He averages like 18 a game. He's a scorer, so I don't mind backing that and backing him. But yeah, I would kind of say I'm gonna wait just to kind of see what the injury news is, because if Wade Taylor is like officially announced, this game might go up even a little bit more, and then I'd like it even better. But it's one of those things where I'll kind of wait and see. If I don't bet it, oh well. But I also like Jordan Sears too, off of LSU.
LSU.
Also, yeah. He's was at UT Martin the last 2 years.
Yeah, he's on my fantasy team, so I hope he has a big day tomorrow.
Hell yeah. He's smooth. I've seen LSU in person. They came to K-State and played. They whooped our ass, sadly. But it was I kind of knew it was going to happen because it was a Cam Carter revenge game. He came, dropped 20 on us, had a couple threes or a couple closeout buckets. So happy for him. So, yeah, I think LSU keeps this close, even if Wade Taylor plays.
Yeah, this feels like a tad too much, and especially with Ole Miss on deck.
Yeah. And, LSU's not overlooking anybody because they're freaking 1-3 in conference. They can't overlook anybody. When you're not a great team, you can't really overlook to an Alabama like they have next.
I'm with you. So let's pull up my yep, here we go. LSU. Last year we lost by 6. Yeah. I'm drawing a blank on what you guys even were last year. You're 10.
They weren't great last year.
No, yeah. And at Texas A&M, home 4-point loss. At Texas A&M. At Texas A&M, they won by 15.
LSU won?
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I think
LSU.
I know LSU's not great, but I think LSU's better than they were last year.
Yeah. Next, we get Santa Clara heads to Gonzaga. Gonzaga off of the loss at Oregon State. 1-day turnaround.
You skipped my game.
Oh, what game you want?
Holy War.
Oh, no. That's on here. That's after this.
Oh. I just saw it was before.
I'm going. Was it? Oh, I got it. I got it mixed up.
No, you're good. I thought you skipped.
Do it in order. We're gonna do it in order.
Skip the Holy War.
Holy War. BYU's laying 1 on the road at Utah. You can throw out everything about this game.
You can. But man,
Utah's terrible.
But man, I want to bet Utah. I mean, I want to bet BYU.
It feels so goddamn trappy.
I want to bet them so bad, but this is telling me that Utah's going to somehow win, but I don't see how they're going to win. How is Ken Palm saying that Utah is a 1-point favorite? I don't get this line. But like you said, it's one of those, that Middle Tennessee, Western Kentucky, throw out the numbers on these rivalry games. Anybody can win. That's proven time and time again. Man. What are your thoughts?
It feels so trappy. BYU on the road has not been
yeah, but this ain't even the road. It's literally 45 minutes.
Yeah,
45 minutes away.
It's still, I know, it's still in reservation altitude. Lost at TCU. I granted, I'll give them that. Houston and Texas Tech back to back. Lost at Providence by 19. Utah could build on their winning streak here. And BYU had trouble putting away Oklahoma State at home. Like, they covered, but they also gave up a 20-4 run to Oklahoma State. Like, that's tough to do.
Hey, but also
everything is telling you to bet BYU this game.
I will say, shout out to Utah though, shout out to Utah for actually playing this at their at the Huntsman Center at their home arena, because this very well easily could have been played at the Jazz Arena if they wanted it to, just because of the game. So this is awesome that it's actually on the home campus. I love that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have a good feel on this. The line makes me want to bet Utah money line.
Yeah, I'm taking Utah on this.
But then I look at Ken Palm, and Ken Palm has Utah favored, which I don't understand how.
Yeah, everyone's going to bet Utah with the short spread against a.
You mean BYU? Everyone's going to bet BYU?
Yeah, everyone's going to bet BYU, and they're getting smashed right now, and this line's sitting at 1. I'll wait, see what happens, because I mean, even if it flips to -1, I'm going to take it because I think they win.
Yeah.
So I mean, we could potentially get more points.
Yeah, and if the money's going to keep coming in on BYU and it gets up to 2.5, 3, you could get a better money line price.
Yeah, 100%. I think you're going to get a better number. Otherwise, if it's sitting at 1,
One of the ways
I'm going to tell you what's going on.
Yep, I agree. I love this game though. Another awesome rivalry game. There's some low key fun rivalry games. 100 Miles of Hate, Holy War, Sunflower Showdown with KU K-State. There's some fun little chippy little rivalries that have some history.
Yeah. Feed me Utah tomorrow, more than likely. Santa Clara heads to Gonzaga. Gonzaga laying 15.5. That's Santa Clara. This is a layup because they just lost spread, but Gonzaga doesn't play the defense to keep this Santa Clara team in check. On paper, Gonzaga's defense looks good. They don't. Lost at Oregon State. Washington State was a 13-point win. San Diego, 13-point win. At home, by the way. At home. They went to LMU, smoked them. Congrats. Smoked Portland. Congrats. Pepperdine, 7-point win. UCLA lost. Bucknell, Nichols, they smoked. Lost to Connecticut, Kentucky. Smoked Davidson. I mean, they do have these spots where they just smoke them, but they've also just had these bed shittings. Like, I'm going to bet Santa Clara more than likely tomorrow. Santa Clara is off of a loss. At LMU, I believe they were just looking ahead to this Gonzaga game. I did mention that angle when I bet LMU the night prior. I think Santa Clara can take advantage of this defense. I mean, they force turnovers or don't turn it over. My bad. They don't turn it over. They shoot inside very well. Gonzaga's meh interior wise. But the other problem is the free throws. But this isn't a short spread. This is a 15.5. I know Gonzaga's going to be pissed off. I know it's at the Kennel. I know it's a Saturday night. But Saturday night, everybody will be betting on Gonzaga to bounce back when there's, 7, 8 games left in the day, maybe. This is at 8 p.m. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, 7 including this Gonzaga game after 8 o'clock. Everybody is going to be betting on Gonzaga to bounce back. Gonzaga wins by 13.
Yeah, they're both. I mean, the other thing is they're both off of losses. It's not like you're getting Santa Clara at one of the at a bad spot to fade them because they're both off of losses. I tend to like the over in this game. I played the over in the Gonzaga-Oregon State game, and even if that didn't go to overtime, it was sweat-free in that regard. I think you're spot on with, Gonzaga, their defense on paper looks good, but I don't think that they're as good. They're giving up a lot of points. I think a Santa Clara team, their offense is really good. I think they can play up tempo, kind of keep up and score with Gonzaga. I would tend to want to bet the over instead of the plus 15.5 with Santa Clara. Sometimes I like doing this with the dogs. If it's a higher total, I like to bet the over, and because sometimes it's Gonzaga, anything can happen. They can freaking go and smoke them by 30, 35, 40. I mean, you saw what they did to Baylor at the beginning of the year. But just because they're going to smoke them, if they do smoke them, they're going to still put up 90, 100 points. But if Santa Clara hangs in it, I still think it's like a 90 to 80 type game, in the 80s at least for sure. I don't see this being in the 70s, maybe Santa Clara in the upper 70s, and then Gonzaga in the 80s, which I like my chances for that to hit 160. So that's where my angle would be. If I had to pick a side, yeah, I'd probably go towards the Santa Clara plus 15.5, but I wouldn't bet it now because I bet it's going to get steamed up. Like you said, everybody's going to be on Gonzaga, so that you could probably get a better number.
It was 13.5 at the end of the pregame show when we were talking about this. So it's got up 2 points.
Yeah, and I think, even throughout the day tomorrow, I'm not even talking about like the morning. I'm talking about like, everybody's trying to get their lick back because they've had a tough day or they've won a bunch of money, so now they're just trying to throw more bets out. People are just going to see that Gonzaga, oh, yep, hammer Gonzaga. And so even right up to the very, very second before tip, I think you're going to be able to get a better number for Santa Clara.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I'm with you there. Cal Poly heads to Irvine. Did these two play already, or am I thinking of somebody else?
They did. They went to overtime. Cal Poly put it into overtime, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah, on the road.
Yeah.
This is simple. You smash Irvine. Irvine's caught up to their shtick. Irvine is still rolling teams even after the big win. They went out and steamrolled Fullerton. Cal Poly, I'm not impressed with. 23.5% turnover percentage. They don't get to the free throw line. They're shooting 30% from 3. They're shooting good interior. Guess what? That's the number 1 interior defense for Irvine. Cal Poly plays no defense. Irvine gets to the line a ridiculous amount. They don't turn it over. They rebound. Yeah, I'm going to lay the 15 with Irvine.
Yeah,
I'm going to lay it.
They shoot the free throw so really well. Irvine does. So, Cal Poly's going to foul them a lot. They're going to get to the line a lot. Yeah. This is don't overthink it. I unfortunately tailed. I bet Cal Poly last time. Just because I thought, man, what's a freaking 0 for team laying 3, laying 5, whatever. So I bet them, and man,
they're a sorry ass squad, man.
Yeah, I mean, I thought maybe that was the spot. I thought UC Davis, that was one of those games to get. This is not a game to get. And like Danny Dubchit's saying that you just highlighted, did UC Davis of all teams was running good offense and scoring against them. That does not bode well when you're bringing in, UC Irvine's offense isn't great, but respective to the conference of the Big West, third best offense in the Big West, and they're the first top ranked defense. I think that does not bode well for Cal Poly. I also just love the Classer styles here with super fast pace versus super slow pace, and give you the defense all day.
Yeah, just Irvine, death taxes Irvine clamps second half. So even if Poly's down 3 at half or up 2 somehow, they're not scoring more than 20 points in the second half. Like, it's just Irvine just decimates you in the second half.
Yep. What up, Hasty?
Hasty. All right, and I believe there's one more game. The nightcap. No. What do we got?
You got to do the play that we're going to play for sure on the money line.
Montana State.
No. Right above Irvine. Right above Irvine, Cal Poly.
Oh, I got to look at the... Oh, how did I fucking forget this game? Oh, yeah. My God.
Yeah.
How the fuck did I forget this game?
I'm not letting you forget this game because this is a smash.
Yep. Oh, I love this fucking number, too.
Me too.
I wish it was flip-flopped, but...
Hey, that's okay. I'll take it.
Yep. Why don't you kick us off? Another pretty simple spot here.
Yes, it is. So, after the fantastic performance by Oregon State, upsetting Gonzaga in the that home spot where it was the first time it was sold out in 5 years, I believe, is what you had said. Now Oregon State is going on the road to San Francisco at War Memorial, not at the Oracle Arena. I don't think I need to say much more than that. Fade Oregon State off of the big home win against Gonzaga and take San Francisco, lay the number, lay the 2.5. I think San Francisco gets it done easy here, maybe by even double digits. I think this is a play you play it and we ride.
Yep. This is a great piece if you have a I can't even spell. I think it's a great money line piece if you have a money line team that you want to throw in somewhere, not sure what to do. You tie it up with San Francisco to end your day. Oregon State just beat Gonzaga. Place was sold out. Stormed the court. National television. Now they're going to play. I'm guessing this is probably an ESPN Plus, maybe an ESPNU type of game. This is easy spot. San Francisco is going to roll tomorrow. They get them at home. Beat Portland by 9. They did beat Santa Clara in overtime by 3. LMU beat by 15. Montana 4-point win. St. Louis they won by 17. I won't even bother with Mercyhurst. I mean, they beat Chicago State. They beat Boise State at home by 9. You don't fuck with San Francisco at home. They will find a way. So this is a perfect money line parlay piece to tie in late. I'm laying the points. This will probably be a 2-unit play for me, minimum 1.5 unit. This and Florida are going to be by far my biggest plays tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe if you have balls, like Danny Dumshit said.
I'm betting Utah. It's only going to be 1 unit.
So he said, pair it with Utah. No, I was thinking, Danny, I was just kind of looking at spots maybe that you could pair it. San Francisco, you could pair it with St. Bonaventure. That would be a good one. They're laying the 1.5, 2. You could also pair it with like a Middle Tennessee State if you were nervous about the number and the 100 miles of hate. You could also
St. Louis, Merrimack.
Yep, St. Louis or Merrimack. Another one that I was thinking about was Bryant too, against Lowell.
Ooh, yes.
So if you like them at home. So those are some ones that you could definitely, or even SMU. SMU lane 5. If you don't like the 5, there's plenty of different angles where, and I tend to like to do that on a couple of them, like I did tonight with the UCLA line and the New Mexico money line. Obviously, it probably would have been better off for me to just solo bet each of them as they're both covering pretty easy. But able to take 2 money lines, get a little bit of plus money, and I don't know. I find it when you're struggling with the line itself, it's a little better. Or another one you could do is freaking tease St. Thomas down to 11.5.
I'm going to disagree with you there. I hate teasing in college basketball.
You do?
Absolutely hate it. I know it feels like a lot of games, a loss is like, oh my God, I got hooked, or I lost by 1 or 2. More often than not, teams cover and they cover, or they lose and they just lose. I mean, it just feels like that because we remember our losses more than the wins.
True.
That's the thing. But I mean, it's your money. You can do what you want. I mean, I'm not saying like teasing college basketball doesn't work, because I mean it does. But I just feel like you're gonna tease it.
You have to tease it to a significant number. I don't like, if I'm going to tease something, I'm going to tease it down through like possessions, kind of like how you would tease it down through points in football. Like if you tease it through like 2 significant point markers.
I suppose.
That would be the only time that I see it beneficial. But
San Fran just moved to 3, so Danny Dumbshit or Hasty just went and fucking mashed San Francisco and moved that line to 3. But last game, island game, literally an island game. We got Bakersfield at Hawaii.
I can't believe you forgot the San Francisco game.
I couldn't believe it. I don't know how I didn't see it. I know I was talking last night about fading Hawaii on the island because everybody just likes to bet it. This is a 4-point game on KenPom. and they're laying 7.5.
Well, that's a system.
Yeah, I feel like this is the one. Hawaii just burnt everybody. I know money's coming in on Hawaii right now. It's moved. I guess it opened at it opened at 7.5. Totals moved up a half point. I kind of like just Hawaii here. They burnt everybody. Bakersfield.
Wait, is it 0.5 off a system? Hasty was saying
It's got to be 3.5.
Damn it! Is this another minus 4.5?
Yeah, 3. This is a minus 3.5 difference.
Oh, so it is minus 3.5. So it is a system.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I haven't been tracking the conference play ones, so do with that at your own risk. But I'm just afraid of Hawaii's defense. They play slow. They don't play great defense. If they don't fucking hit anything, then they're kind of fucked. Bakersfield just wanted CSUN 94-90. Now they hit the road. Hawaii's home for their second straight game before they hit the road on Thursday. I think they come back and avenge it. Tomorrow, I think they get a nice win. I won't bet this game until like right before generally because I want to see what goes on with this line. But I think Hawaii wins by double digits. Yeah. I think this is a spot.
Shout out to Avetta, hard ticket to Hawaii.
It's a hard ticket to Hawaii. It's not paradise all the time.
And then how is Cincinnati, Avetta? You enjoying it so far?
Oh yeah, she's there for the Milwaukee game. Avetta, it's not always paradise. As if you bet Hawaii -2 the other night.
Yeah,
said it was awesome. When's that Milwaukee game? Is that? I'm assuming that's probably.
Not the Milwaukee
game.
game.
Arizona. I'm thinking BJ Freeman played on Milwaukee, Arizona State.
Cincinnati, yeah.
Arizona State.
That's the game that we capped. She's probably, I would assume she's on the Sun Devils +10. She has to be.
10 points. Weird line of it. What are you doing in that game? That line weirds me out. I'm gonna break my rule and take an under 134 in that game. That game freaks me out.
Yeah, that 134 is
so bad, but
I'm loving that.
Or Cincinnati's gonna fuck them up. It feels like
I'm loving that under in that game. I think
Sun Devils +10.
Yeah.
62-68 win. I can deal with that.
I'm gonna bet. I'm about to go to it right now. I'm gonna look and see if they got BJ Freeman props. I'm gonna bet it for Avetta. She better cheer hard for him.
BJ Freeman props.
Yeah,
he's a fucking stud.
Oh yeah, he was a dog, man. Yeah. That last game, even though they lost, he played freaking so good. That guard play, I told you, man. That guard play in that ASU UCF game was elite.
All right. Yeah. So that'll be it. It's coming off a 22 and 26 point performance. Yeah, he's been really turning it on as of late. He's been solid. Shout out to Milwaukee's own BJ Freeman.
There's so many games at freaking that time. Holy shit.
All right. The menu. Do you want to go first? You want me to?
You go first. I'm trying to find BJ Freeman pops. Damn it. None of them are
Check
out.
underdog. Check underdog.
All right. Yeah, you go first. I'm checking.
All right. Here we go. Houston -13. Georgia +6.5. Kansas -16. SMU -5. Bonaventure -1.5. Monmouth +3. Vatek +4. I want to bet that game. I'll swap that. Texas Tech -4. Purdue moneyline. Marshall -3.5. Vandy +5.5. Florida I got 10.5. So biggest plays on Florida tomorrow. Bryant -4.5. Mississippi State -6. Arkansas +5.5. Seton Hall +9. San Diego State -10. Utah +1. Irvine -15. And San Francisco -3.
Yep, and then I'm on Let's see. Houston minus 13.5. George Washington +8. Georgia +7. UMBC money line. Western Michigan minus 8.5. Shout out Danny Dumbshit on that one. I will be on the under 134.5 in the Cincinnati game. Northern Kentucky minus 1.5. SMU minus 5. Queens +5. St. Bonaventure minus 1.5. Monmouth +3. Babylonia with Wake Forest -4. Texas Tech -4. That's a smash spot. USC money line. Sorry about your Badgers. Murray State money line. Florida -11. Bryant -4.5. Mississippi State -6. The under 134 in the Liberty New Mexico State game. Seton Hall +9. San Diego State -10. And San Francisco -2.5 is what I have started so far. So I think that's enough.
Yeah, it's a big big slate tomorrow. But that'll do it. Huff's not here, so we will, when we do the spaces in the morning.
Yep, we'll do the faves in the morning.
Yeah, we'll do our favorites in the morning for the parlay. I agree with it. They need more than just him and Quaintance. I mean, they tried their damnedest to come back in that game, but they couldn't pull it off the other night. Somebody's got to step up. It can't just be two guys. 100% agree. But other than that, that wraps up 3 hours and 16 minutes of the Saturday slate. Appreciate everyone. Danny Dumbshit, Avetta, Hasty. Who else was in here? Let me scroll up. LSU. Sammy Stu, who dipped out. Puff Daddy was in here. Coach. Denser was in here. What else we got?
I'm missing a few. Oh, Girth Brooks and Tiny Dick.
Girth Brooks and Tiny Dick were in here. There we go. Shout out Girth Brooks and Tiny Dick. Yeah, I think that was about it. Yeah, appreciate you guys for popping in.
Troy, thanks for hopping in.
Troy, yeah, I forgot Troy was in here, but appreciate you guys. We will see you in the morning, probably 9:30ish, 9 for the 10. I don't know.
LSU. We're gonna do it on the spaces tomorrow morning for the best bet. Unless, are you gonna be on the spaces? If not, we can craft something up real quick for you, LSU. If you're not gonna.
I'll tell you this. My favorite tomorrow is Florida. I'll just give you mine.
Yeah.
Scratch that. San Francisco.
Yeah. So if you want a, I'll give you 3. San Francisco, the Florida, I like that one, and then Texas Tech -4. So there's 3 favorites for you right there. Chalky home. No, not really chalky, but all 3 home favorites. I like all those 3 to cover.
Yep.
And then, but we'll go a fave tomorrow, and then we'll probably do like a little money line dog parlay or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. We will see you in the morning for the spaces. Just stay tuned to the Pump Fake Twitter. We'll get it out and then be back probably. What's the Monday schedule looking like? Actually, I'm assuming probably nothing again. Monday's not terrible.
Whoa. Yeah, and we got some 12 and 1 o'clock games. Oh yeah, because it's President's Day. Duh.
Oh shit! Yeah, we'll be back Sunday night. We'll come back Sunday night and get this done.
There's basketball from 12 to 8. So yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we'll run a spaces Sunday in the morning for the slate on Sunday, but we will be back soon. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you in the morning. Best of luck with your bets and toodles.